All right, and
Timber me, timber. Bring 'em from the yard.
off the plane. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the one, the only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's your boy, your host for the evening. JD's taking a little break tonight, so I'll be taking over for moderating duties. It's your boy, Robbie J, Le Admiral. I am joined, of course, by the wonderful panel of the loyal Rumboyz crew. Starting off with my boy, Clock Management, Justin. What it do, bro?
What is up, everyone? We got an episode dropping immediately after this too, so make sure you guys check that out.
Yeah, dude, I saw that on Twitter. You were like, new episode in 5 hours. I was like, woo, woo, 5 hours.
Yeah, right after this.
Let's see here, and of course we got my boy Jordan Love right down below. What is
What's
good?
good?
Yo,
What's
that's
good,
shirt,
bro?
it's fresh.
I gotta rep the merch.
Hell yes. Be sure you guys head to rumboyz.com. Go check out. Go get yourself some merch. We got new pieces dropping all week long. Let's see here, and of course I got my boy with me, Rumboyz Combat. Jake is in the building. Jake the Great.
Yep, start of a big weekend for us. To UFC tomorrow. Our boy Cesar's fighting. Wilder Fury.
Yeah, you have a lot on your plate over
Yeah,
there.
man. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Good luck this weekend, man. Don't worry.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm going light tonight. I'm going pretty light. So.
Yeah, same. I dig it. Well, hey, we got to start off the show the way that we always do. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the wrong boys and girls. What it do? Dilly. Hell yes. Let's go ahead and dive into our first topic of the night. Tonight is all centered around fantasy football and the NFL. We are going to talk some fight weekend as well towards the end. But starting it off here, Panthers GM asked if Cam Newton will be the QB next year. He replied, if he is healthy. Question is, do you think that CMC can continue to be a top 3 running back with or without Cam, to be honest? Even without Cam. Starting off with Justin.
So I think that if he does leave there, this is going to suck for CMC and the Panthers organization because his best years of his career are going to be wasted while they're rebuilding their team. But I do think he'll stay right at that top 3 range. I do believe he'll stay a top 3 running back despite whether their offense is prolific or not. But it's just going to suck for him. The whole team's going to be on his back.
Absolutely. J Love, good take, brother.
All right, so what season is it? It's draft season, right?
Yeah.
And at a certain point in draft season, it becomes a smokescreen. That's what most of this stuff is. Answer like this makes me lead to the conclusion that this is some type of smokescreen. When you look at Cam Newton's contract, it's roughly $20 million. That's fairly cap friendly when you look at today's NFL and what a quarterback usually gets paid. My guess is he's going to get traded on draft night, whether that's night 1 or 2, and you're going to look at the Panthers either draft a quarterback in round 1 2, or probably not 3. I'd look at round 1 or 2. I could see a trade back situation where they target Jordan Love, or I could see maybe they target Jacob Eason if he falls, or Jake Fromm. And in that case, I think CMC stock is going to rise because there's a young quarterback, especially if it's Jordan Love, knowing that he can spread the ball down the field. And I'm actually going to take this. Can Cam stay healthy? Of course, CMC is going to be a top 3 fantasy running back if he is healthy, but we saw it with Saquon this year when a running back takes on that load for a whole season. Sometimes it wears on their tires.
Okay. I'm digging it. Jay, get him.
I think he'll produce, and I'm not worried about his numbers at all. My concern is long-term in his career, regardless if Newton's there or not. I'm not sure how healthy he'll be when he comes back or what he has left because he plays a dangerous style of football. But I think he'll produce. I think this might be one of those years where he has great numbers, and that's going to wear him down long-term.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more there. I think that, and Justin, I believe that you and I had once talked about this, or actually, no, you got some feedback. Well, that was on my end. I apologize. That was bad. No, what I was stating, I think that it was either you or me, Justin, or either me, Nick Howard. We had discussed CMC's high workload eventually matching to where he'll have to deal with some regression at some point. But I don't think that it's coming now. Whether Cam is in or out, no matter who's in the backfield, the guy is just a beast. I say you no matter what, if he's available to you, you go and you pick him in the top 3. If we're talking fantasy terms, we're talking in terms of the NFL. He's going to go out there. He's going to put up yards. I agree with all 3 of you gentlemen. I don't think that it really matters.
Right. Do you guys, this is just a quick side topic, think if it's going to be bad, if they keep Newton, doesn't work out, if the quarterback they have there doesn't work out, do they give him a load management year where they kind of rest him?
Nah. They won't sell tickets.
Yeah, and they have a new head coach that needs to keep his job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a new offensive coordinator that's going to want to use him, Joe Brady.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
I would like to see that offense. That'll be weird because, I mean, he likes to throw the ball for sure. And that's
Did you
probably
not
the
see
strength of their team.
LSU's game? Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting like 8 catches a game at LSU.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just going to get filled up with Christian McCaffrey. Look at like 12 to 14.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm digging it. That one we all agreed on. I don't think that that's going to happen here in this next topic with this next player. Where would your ideal landing spot be for one Phillip 13 Kids Rivers?
We're going in reverse order here?
Yep, reverse order. Yeah, we'll just make it back. Just say draft.
Okay. Right now, to make a final pick, I want to see where Bridgewater ends up if he goes somewhere else, which I think he probably will. But I would say between the Bucks and Colts would make some sense, depending on who they pick up. And I mean, Rivers is probably a secondary guy. I think everyone wants Bridgewater right now. But I think one of those teams will get Bridgewater, and the other one will have to settle for Rivers, which I guess settling is an insult for him at this point, but he is older, and his arm does get weak after week 12.
Okay. J-Love?
I'm going to go nowhere. I think retirement suits him best. I know I'm going to catch him
I
back
agree with that. But
some people are going to come at me for this, like, oh, he can't even be a backup. I don't think Phillip Rivers has the ego to be a backup. I think he's going to try and go somewhere. Like, let's say he goes to the Colts. You know what the Colts are going to do? They're probably going to draft a quarterback. Or they're going to rock out with Jacoby Brissett, who, in my opinion, at this point, is a better quarterback than Phillip Rivers. You look at Tampa Bay, they're probably going to franchise tag Jameis Winston, and if they don't, they're going to draft a quarterback. One other place that a lot of people are starting to mention is the Bears for some reason. I don't know why they would move on from Trubisky to Phillip Rivers, even though I hate Trubisky. I think it's stupid. No. I think retirement suits him best.
I mean, I think that he's still got another year in him. So I don't think he should retire. I think he may if he doesn't get a offer that for a place he wants to go to. And I mean, the like Robbie was saying, man, the biggest thing's going to be which one of these places has the best daycare. Because I mean, 13 kids, someone's going to have to watch all those kids. That's not included in a contract. He's losing money. But I like the Buccaneers personally. I think he's a better quarterback than Winston. And I think that if they drafted, they should draft a quarterback because, like I said, I think he's got another year in him, and you can have that quarterback ready to take his spot after and actually learn from a quarterback who understands what the different colored jerseys on the field are.
Yeah, I think he's a good quarterback. I'm just concerned about him keeping his arm strength because he significantly falls off after week 13, 14. So I don't know.
I don't know if you guys heard, but Jameis Winston actually just had eye surgery because whenever he was on the football field, he had to squint.
Yeah, they said it improved his vision 1%. So 1% less than 30 interceptions is, by my calculation, 30 interceptions.
Okay, well, think about it this way. Maybe since he's not squinting and that impairs your vision by at least 50% because that takes away your peripheral, maybe you're going to see a safety that's in the middle of the field that he didn't see at all last year.
Or maybe he's just saying that so he could get a new contract.
So how did he play the Falcons? They both have red.
I know. I was talking about this. I want to look up who he's thrown the most interceptions to because that's the team he should sign. Obviously, he thinks they're on his team.
Watch, it's the Packers. It's like, well, dude, no, you have no excuses, dude. You have no excuses.
Y'all are messed up. No, really quick with Rivers, I want to quickly touch on that one. I think that it's retirement home or bust. I want to shout out the homie Paulie Sleepers. Me and him, we have been debating this with fantasy football Twitter and Chargers Twitter for like the last 2 years, and me and him have been spot on every single time. I don't want a quarterback that their arm is going to go out week 10, week 12. I don't want a quarterback that is in his 40s that's not able to get the ball more than 30 yards. You know, I'm done with that guy. So I'm completely out on Phillip Rivers. We know that I'm out on him. I'm gonna say that a front porch and a damn rocking chair with the nice cold glass of rum on the rocks is where he needs to be. But not in no damn NFL. No. As far as Jameis, y'all touched on Jameis Winston. We'll see how much that 1% helps. I don't think that it
I don't think the 1% is the thing. I think it's the fact that he had to squint all the time.
You know,
I think the whole getting LASIK eye surgery was just a whole thing so he could be like, look, I fixed the problem. Now I'm going to not throw any interceptions, and you should sign me to $40-50 million contract.
I don't think that was it. And he knows for sure he's not getting
5 years, maybe
40. He's probably not even going to get 30 unless he gets franchised. Then he'll get 30, 31,
27,
32.
I think it's like
27.
27. Yeah, 27.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's going to get franchised because he's going to be asking for 30.
There'll be some GMs that'll go after him. Hot take moment. You know where I could see Jameis landing mid-season free agency? The Jags. Because Sam Darnold's big-headed ass sucks.
They have the same issue. They're literally the same quarterback.
No, Darnold significantly. No.
They're the same issue.
They're not the same because
Winston can't see, so he can't see ghosts.
Yeah, Sam Darnold was seeing ghosts, and Winston can't see the ghosts.
What I mean by that is both of them are turnover prone. That's their biggest issue. If they don't turn over the ball so much, then they're actually probably going to be labeled as a decent to good starting quarterback.
Yeah, Sam Darnold needs to stop throwing the ball to Bruce Willis.
That zero blitz.
I think he has something, but
that zero blitz is Sam Darnold's how would I put Devontae's perfect to Antonio Brown. Would I say?
Man, I like what someone just said. They just said someone just said they like Jameis going to the Jags. I like that.
They can't play another quarter. They have 25 million Nick Foles.
No, I don't like the pay. I'm just saying him as a quarterback there. I don't like paying him that much.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Let's see it. I want to get into to the next one that we got on the docket. We actually covered a couple of bases just off of one player. That was pretty dope. I like how that just happened. Which new head coach? By the way, speaking of head coaches, if you guys have not checked out the coaching carousel series that I did, it's pretty dope. Which new head coach do you expect the most from in 2020? McCarthy, Riverboat Ron, Joe Judge, Matt Rule, Stefanski.
So I think this year, I think the most improved for a team you're going to see is going to come from Riverboat Ron here. I know Robbie's going to be pumped about this. Because, I mean, they were a really bad team, and another year they were. You can't deny they weren't a bad team.
You have to put that in the sentence.
But I mean, I think a new head coach there is greatly going to improve them. They got the quarterback, who I think I'm excited to see what he has in him, and I think that Rivera is going to bring that out of him, and another solid draft for them here, and they should be doing big things. Plus, I mean, I want to see McLaurin light it up.
I mean, I think everybody knew where I was going with this take, and that's definitely going to be Ron Rivera. I think this is the third stream, not in a row, but in the past few months that I've mentioned that I think the Redskins are going to take a massive leap. And, like again, they make a couple trades. They already proved it. Personally, off my draft board last year, they hit home runs consistently. I love their drafting. I think they're going to make big plays in free agency this year, especially if they can move on from Ryan Kerrigan and free up some money. If they trade away that big hole at left tackle that's just tearing them down, that's going to move them forward in the franchise, and I expect Dwayne Haskins to take a massive jump.
I got to interrupt real quick with Connor saying that Geis is not their starting running back. AP's their starting running back.
Okay.
Geis has to prove he can stay on the field for one NFL game. That's all I ask.
Okay. This is all I ask. Just look at his tape, and that'll prove to you that he should be the starting running back.
He should, but he's the king. He is the best preseason running back of all time. Now I just need him to make it into the season.
Preseason.
I know. I just need to make it through the preseason and make it to an actual NFL game.
I'm with that. Jake, did you go yet?
No.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Someone put that comment down there and I interrupted.
That's fine. So yeah, the biggest win improvement I think will be Ron Rivera, just because I'm gonna pick the coaches who have done it before, and because lockout might be an issue for these new coaches. And I do see Rivera getting 7 wins much easier than McCarthy getting 10. So that 3-win improvement I think is very doable for the Redskins. I don't see 3 wins for the Cowboys. 3 more wins for the Cowboys.
Okay, do you mean a 3-win jump, or do you just mean 3 wins in general?
3-win jump.
Okay. Because you said 3 games at first, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, just a 3-win jump. I don't see them going 7 to 10 wins. I could see the Redskins getting 7.
Hey, if Jake would have said just 3 wins for the Cowboys, yo, Pat 1984 would have been up in this chat so damn quick. Yo, that would have.
Yo, he would have rushed over here from Charlotte and came down. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Bro, I would have loved that. I wish you would have been here for that. I am going to.
Pittsburgh P. Yes, AP is older than the Nintendo. You are correct with that statement.
I'm going to be my running back. Wow.
I'm pretty sure me and Robbie are older than a regular Nintendo too.
I think AP is older than everybody on this panel.
It was 1986, right? First Nintendo.
When's AP's birthday?
I'll check.
He's 34.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
That's why I ask.
March 21st.
AP is older than everyone on this panel.
yeah. He beat all of us out. I'm gonna ride with all my Riverboat Ron truthers. Shout out to all of you guys showing major love to Riverboat Ron. I cannot believe that McCarthy just got trashed as seriously as he did. That was great. But
it's Jerry Jones, man. I don't trust Jerry Jones. I like McCarthy. I don't like Jones.
Yep.
But no, I'm riding with Riverboat on here. At the end of the day, Jake, I'm sorry, Browns are just Browns.
I'm concerned with the lockout. I don't like having a new head coach after a lockout season.
You'll have more problems than that. You'll have more problems than that.
We couldn't. I really, really am worried about the lockout. That's
out of
huge
all these
concern
teams
for me.
that have new coaches, which team do you think is going to have the least amount of wins?
Dude, I think we have the least amount of wins out of all the coaches.
We'll probably all agree.
I'm gonna go with Judge. Your former special teams coach,
Yeah.
/ wide receivers coach, getting a head coaching role, and then it's Jason Garrett. Your quarterback is Daniel. Oh my God, I put the ball on the ground, Jones. I'm completely out on that whole entire fucking offense. None of their receivers can stay healthy. That team, just because of health alone, is not going to get wins. Like, I got the Giants as a 3-win team.
Yeah. I foresee a similar issue to Freddie Kitchens there in for the Giants. Like, just a lack of leadership is going to derail them.
I mean, who's he going to lead?
Yeah, on the beneficial side, he doesn't have all those big names and egos. He's just got one.
Right. Oh, he has one big name. He doesn't have an ego.
Yeah, just one big name that he has to worry about.
Great point.
But I mean, that's not necessarily a good thing either.
I like it. Who'd you say was going to be the worst in terms of wins out of these coaches, Jake?
I think the Giants or the Browns. Between those two, probably the Giants.
Definitely. The Browns at least have some type of talent. It's just a cultural issue there.
It's the owner, and that won't change. So, my opinion on Haslam. I can't. This should not own a team. But
so I'm going. But yeah, really quick. I just want to touch on my Redskins really quick. Bringing back AP, the cap space that we have cleared up is freaking huge. We were like 2 days ago, I reported that we had $52 million in cap space. Let's add another $8.5 million following the release of Jordan Reed yesterday. Stephon Diggs, come on down. Byron Jones, we will take you if Dallas does not love you.
You'd have to give up a next year's first to get Stephon Diggs, right?
Dog, we got money. We got the money. Why do we have to give up a first? This is what I want to know.
Stephon Diggs is a free agent.
Yeah, that's what they say they want right now.
Stephon Diggs needs to be traded.
He still has, 2 years left?
Yeah, he's 2 years.
Shit, that's correct. That is correct. I know that he's wanting out. Like, he has been talking cash shit on Twitter.
Shit, wait until the season starts, and if he's still upset, you might be able to get him cheaper.
So I know the asking price from the Vikings is like they're not going to trade him, but if somebody offered him a second this year, I think they'd take it. So Arizona, get on that. Get that wide receiver one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind the Niners getting him, but I don't think they can afford him.
No, you don't have the money.
Yeah.
I mean,
problem giving up that first pick.
No.
Once they sign Eric Armstead, they won't.
You're not going to re-sign Eric Armstead.
They need to. They could. If you get all right, I'm getting off topic. We'll talk about that later.
No, we'll hit that one up offline. I am going to just move one question around because I see that the fantasy football wire, he's like, yo, we need to talk about this CBA. All right. So I bring us to our most recent update in regards to the CBA. CBA talks hit a standstill today on the player side of things. A lot of change proposed on everything from lesser punishments on marijuana. Let's see, 3 games on Saturday and Sunday in the playoffs. 7 teams would make it, and much, much more in this agreement. How do you guys feel about the proposed CBA? Let's start with Jake and work our way back around.
I don't like the idea of 17 games. I don't think the players do, but it's inevitable. Let's be honest. The owners are going to push that will off of that game check, and the players will cave. I don't like the 40.5%. If I'm the players, I am fighting for a 50-50 split because Pat McAfee said, talking to the players union, that $36 billion a year they make would have like $2.7 billion in the next CBA going to the players if they get that extra 1.5%. Do not settle for anything less or fight for as close as you can get to 50%.
That's facts. That's facts. J Love.
I mean, there's a lot to look into this. I think we all like more football here as fans, but if we're looking at this from a player's perspective, again, I said this earlier to you on the phone, Robbie. The top guys are going to hate this. The guys that just want to get through the season, they just want to play and get out. As for the bottom tier guys that are going to make a lot more money, like I think a minimum contract in the NFL, you're looking at like, of course, it's a 10-day that's non-guaranteed, but once you get a guaranteed contract for a year, I believe the minimum is about $750,000 over the minimum. And then after that, you're looking probably up to $1.2 million for all these lower level guys, because again, Jake said that money's pretty much going to double for these small guys. And again, it's just going to be weird to see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the expanded playoffs. Like, I don't think we need more teams in the playoffs. I want to know, how much Jerry Jones pushed for this, because, I mean, the Cowboys didn't make the playoffs, and he's like, man, we need to start making it even though we suck. It's ridiculous. Like, you shouldn't have that many teams. It's almost, at this point, it's almost half the NFL in the playoffs. So, like, it's supposed to be the best teams in the NFL going playoffs. That's what I want to see. So I don't like that personally. I do think it's going to happen. If not this year, then eventually. But also another thing that I was reading about with the CBA is it's going to increase roster sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And their practice squad as well. And then the amount of players that can be on IR and come back from IR.
Wait. To what? Did they give out any numbers?
Yeah, the roster size will go up to 55. The practice squad to 12. Practice squad would increase to 14.
Yeah.
And then there would be one additional player that's allowed to, so 3 players that could come back from IR. And I think the reason why they're doing this is because of the XFL, to try and be able to retain more players in the NFL and hurt the XFL.
That would make 100% complete sense. That would make sense for them to implement that for that reason. I think that will probably be a more smaller reasoning because it does appear that the NFL is trying to back the XFL and they're trying to kind of give it some type of a base. So I think that is a percentage of it though, just in case that the XFL is cold, the NFL can be like,
absorb the players. Exactly.
Now, also with that, another thing that I do not like about this new proposed CBA, first off, we all see I'm rocking my NFLPA rookie premier shirt. I'm the type of person that I'm more than likely always going to side with the players. The owners are not going to give up the extra 2% to make it a 50-50 split. I do not like that they are only proposing still just one bye. It is still just one bye in the new proposed CBA. I don't like that. If you're going to give me a longer season, I need that extra time to rest. Not having the 2 seed be able to, or having the 2 seed more of a less importance. I don't agree with that. You should get the same just dues as you've had since 1990. The playoff format has not changed since 1990. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Excuse me. Now, as a fan, am I going to be appreciative for you giving me more football, NFL? Sure. I'm gonna be appreciative for that. As someone that knows the toll that it takes on your body, I'm not with that. I would, if I was a player, I don't even give a damn if I'm one of the lower level guys. You know, I mean, they're not getting hit as much. Their bodies aren't taking on as much of a toll. But I'm still probably like, yeah, that's the extra car crash that I have to be in. Football's a sport where it's a hour-long car crash, 60 minutes worth of just getting hit. And that, for those reasons, I'm not with it. Anybody got anything to second that?
No, I think we're all basically on board that we agree with the players more so than the owners. Like, I think that's where all of America is really. I think most Americans side with the players, but the owners are the owners. So at the end, they're going to get what they want.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to completely trash on the owners, you know, either. But I mean, guys, come on, you're fucking billionaires.
I mean, some owners, yeah. Jerry Jones. Yeah.
You know what I mean.
I mean, I see their
most
point,
of
though, because you don't want to be you're a billionaire. You're there because you don't want to lose money. You always want money, so it's very hard to tell them to sacrifice this, 36 or $2.78 billion over the next few years. You're fine.
Yeah.
No,
You don't.
dude, that's $1 billion in their pocket. Like that.
Yeah.
That's money they want too.
You don't become a billionaire by giving away a lot of money. So
Yeah.
This is true. I mean, that's.
not that I would know, but so I've heard.
I can't even come up with a smart ass thing to say back to that. But I mean, I guess those are pretty much our thoughts around the CBA. I mean, and what we know leading up to this moment. I do want to toss out one little piece here. What I did read is that the owners could very well choose to just shelf talks and let the rest of this agreement play out. And we really don't want that to happen. We want there to be a CBA signed off and agreed upon this year, because what can happen is that could lead to a lockout. We all remember the replacement refs and all this shit. Like we don't want to relive any of that. You know,
It's going to be a day 11. Training camp should be starting. We're going to sign it last possible second. The players cannot sign it earlier. It looks bad. Anything they lose in negotiations if they sign early is something they could have fought for later, even though they never get what they want. I fear a lockout. I mean, it just would look bad if they get a bad deal and sign it early.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. They're going to wait till the last minute, but I don't think there'll be a lockout. I think they sign it at the end of the day.
Yeah. Just give me 1 second.
No problem.
Alrighty.
Everyone good with J Love's bed now, or?
It's not even my bed, bro. It's my whole room. They're like, oh, the picture's crooked.
It's good enough for the dog. Let it go.
Right, I'm saying.
Let's see here. Fancy, I would bring you in, man. We're like already like rolling, but hit me up, man. We'll get you on. We'll get you on, bro. Hit me up. DM me. Go down the DM. We talked about this yesterday actually, let me put this back in order now. Never mind. Drew Brees is staying with the New Orleans Saints. What does this mean for them and the stable of QBs there? I think we start with Justin. Yeah.
Sounds good. I mean, I love Drew Brees coming back. I think he's going to continue what he's been doing, do just fine as a quarterback, taking them into the playoffs again, and Vikings going to upset them. But I think for the backup quarterbacks there, Taysom Hill is going to have to go somewhere else. Taysom Hill, I'm sorry, is going to have to stay there. And Teddy Bridgewater is going to have to go somewhere else now to get because there's teams that want him as their starting quarterback now, paying the rumors are $30 million. And that's outrageous to me based off of like the sample size you got from him. But I mean, if teams are willing to pay him that, he'd be insane not to take it.
Dude, I'm not fucking paying Taysom Hill that much.
No, not Taysom Hill, Bridgewater.
Bridgewater? Oh, I thought I heard my fault. It's all good. J Love. Well, I thought you said Taysom Hill. Like, nice!
I did at first. I fucked that up.
It's all good. All good. J Love, what you got, bro?
I mean, you pretty much have to agree. I think this is actually hurting the Saints long term, in a way. Some people are probably going to agree with me in most cases, because if you look at it, the fact that Drew Brees was pretty much contemplating retirement after he pretty much was having a career year. Had he played all 16 games, he was having a career year. And then you take a look at it, he's looking at retirement. That's scary. That means, in my opinion, he's going to retire after this next year.
Yeah.
I think he's done. Like, you're not going to convince me otherwise. If you leave Taysom Hill as a backup quarterback, you're going to have to go out and you're scrounging for a quarterback. While next year's quarterback class is already looking good with, of course, you have Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence coming in. Those are the top two guys, and you're going to have a whole bunch of other people coming in. But you don't want to get caught in that sort of situation. I think, in a way, the Saints were kind of hoping for Drew Brees' retirement because now they're kind of inclined to bring it back. If it's one of those things that the Saints are going to bring him back, and Teddy Bridgewater's going to walk, and he's probably going to get paid $25 to $30 million, like you said, because of those rumors, and there's nothing else to do about it.
Okay. Jake?
I think Taysom Hill will have to stay. I don't understand where he thought he's a quarterback. I don't know when that was in his mind. He threw like 15 passes. But Bridgewater, I can see him going somewhere like Tampa, getting priority somewhere, if that's an agreement they can figure out. I could see him going to Chicago, and I could see him going to the Colts or somewhere like that, where he really could get a chance to be a starter and would be the first guy out there. Because Brissett's deal is very short term. So if they were to sign Bridgewater long term, he could make that change.
Yeah,
but I don't think there's any way Bridgewater stays. I don't. I think he's a starter next year somewhere.
Does anyone think there's a chance Taysom Hill is ever a starting quarterback in the NFL?
No, I was just about to say no. And okay, even to get to this point,
I'm not gonna this stupid shit yet.
I wanted to bring this up, but I don't want to go too long. The fact that we're talking about Teddy Bridgewater being a starting quarterback, and you still have the draft to go through. If you're going to sit here and tell me you're going to take a quarterback you want to pay $25 to $30 million for multiple years, who's almost 30 already, let's not forget that. This isn't 25-year-old Teddy Bridgewater. He's 29.
What's his
If
agent
you
telling
go to
him?
the draft and you look at Jacob Eason, the guy who's probably going to go in the second round, Jake Fromm, second to third round, Justin Herbert, for a guy that probably is going to go to the Chargers, who's linked to a whole bunch of these quarterbacks. Jordan Love. Personally, I'm not too high on him. I think he has all the intangibles, but I think he doesn't really know the game that well. But he has a lot of arm talent, and if you could untap that, you're looking at possibly the next Patrick Mahomes that some people want, and he's primed right there for the Colts to take it 13. So all these people linking these quarterbacks to the Colts, it doesn't make sense. To the Chargers, it doesn't make sense. To the Bears, it does not make sense. They don't have the cap space.
Didn't the Chargers draft a guy last year?
Yes,
Anyways?
Yes, you still have Easton Stick back there, okay?
You don't believe in Easton Stick. Be real.
I don't, but you drafted him.
Yeah,
So
apparently they do.
they believe in him. They should.
My man's Easton Stick. I watched the guy throw. I'm impressed. He makes all the right throws. He was out there at the skills competition at the rookie premiere, putting on, whooping guys' ass, putting up some decent scores. Now, granted, those weren't people having to catch. These are tires and shit. But still, okay. I say that if you're the Chargers, you need to try out Ty God, and you need to ride out with Easton Stick. If things get really bad, then hell, once again, J Love has always said, there's the draft. I know that everyone right now is trying to run around and get a quarterback in this year's draft. Like the amount of quarterback talk, I think that is just the media trying to hype up the QB position, because some of these lower level leagues, aka wannabe developmental leagues, have such piss poor quarterback play I think the league is trying to, hype it up that, like, there's all great quarterbacks, for the NFL. So I think that's a piece of it. There's no fucking way that all these quarterbacks are going to come out in this draft class and be on fire. That's not happening. One of these big name guys is going to be a bust.
And it's going to be Jordan Love.
Those tires do have better hands than OJ Howard, though.
That is true.
And you know what? Let me not go there. Easton Stick's not going to be a starting quarterback. It's done. I don't care what you say about your rookie premieres. I do not care. He's not going to be a starting quarterback.
He's not going to be a starting quarterback. But once again, like you mentioned, all these teams trying to link, Taysom Hill could possibly go here and possibly go there. Taysom Hill is not a starting quarterback, period. He is a Swiss Army knife. That is what he is. That is what he does.
Okay,
really, in his pro film, how many times do we see him drop back and make a throw?
I think he threw like what, 3-4 passes last year?
Yeah, there is a reason for that. He threw 3. There's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton's a smart-ass coach. So you mean to tell me that Sean Payton can clearly see there's something in your game that, hey, you probably can't be a starter. If I'm the Saints, I'm trying to figure out a way that I keep Bridgewater. You can't, though, because he's the money and everything. It's just probably not going to happen. You hang on to Brees for another year. And then, cool, if you're Taysom Hill and you really want to be that guy, the best thing for you to do is shut the fuck up, grab a coloring book, sit in the corner, and ride the bench until Brees retires. And then you can maybe start for a year or two until the Saints go and draft a QB.
No, they won't even start him for a year. And Sean Payton fully knows that.
The guy's not starter ready to be. And every analyst that's on TV, all the talking heads that want to defend him and say that he is, I want to let you guys know that you're clearly just doing that for clickbait and for takes. You know damn well that he's not.
Isn't Dan Orlovsky pushing it hard?
Yes, Orlovsky's pushing it hard. Vrabel.
He's the one I saw. I was like, this guy's an idiot. Get him off the set.
Teddy Bruschi pushing it.
He had one too many strokes. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I think you guys froze up.
Did we?
J Love?
No.
Was that too rough? Was that too rough, J Love?
Was I the only one that heard him?
I didn't hear him.
Nope.
I was like, well, Teddy Bruschi had one too many strokes.
Nice.
He survived both.
That got dark really quick.
Jeez.
Let's see here. One of the things that we have here. By the way, I want to take the time really quick to let everyone know. Make sure you subscribe to Clock Management Fantasy Football. Dustin did great working with me today and getting these questions all out there. So I appreciate you, bro.
No problem.
This one, not necessarily fantasy related. We did talk about this yesterday on the Roman Report with Nick Howard. I want to get you guys' takes on it. Browns offensive lineman Greg Robinson was caught with enough weed to kill me, Snoop Dogg, and Wiz Khalifa over.
No, Snoop would survive that.
Yeah. 157 pounds of weed could possibly be facing the now, I guess, former Browns lineman, 20 years in jail.
Former free man.
How do you guys feel about this, Jake? We start with you.
Man, it's so sad to see what happened to him. He was this top guy out of Auburn. He failed he was a journeyman. I don't think he ever really had a chance to make it. He just never made it out. And one of those things, how dumb are you? It's legal in states in the U.S. Go to L.A., get a rental car, buy it, and move it that way.
Like El Paso, he got caught moving through El Paso. We all know whose weed you were carrying through fucking El Paso.
There are places to buy marijuana legally in the U.S. Buy it there and move it there. Keep it in the country. It's not that complicated.
Greg Robinson, stop by my house.
He's a really bad weed dealer. Really bad.
Man.
Worse at dealing weed than at football, actually.
And yeah, I've seen the mule. You can hire an old person to do this for really cheap.
Yo. Like, and then here's what I want to know too. All right, you got caught moving the pounds through El Paso. Like I said, it's obviously worth for El Chapo. Listen, bro. Cartel, y'all couldn't find anyone else? Y'all had to get an NFL player?
This is Kodak Black level of accidentally going into Canada with an AK.
And like
This is
his passenger was a former Colt.
Dude, I didn't know that part.
No, it was Adam Vinatieri's return man. No, not Adam Vinatieri. Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
How ridiculous is that? Like, what made you two think like we'll look inconspicuous?
Hey,
how big was this car?
It was a Chevy Tahoe. They were driving in a fucking Chevy Tahoe. Like, bro, all black rental car at that. Like, come on, man. This dude clearly did not think. Greg Robinson, you did not think. I would love for you to hop in the time machine, travel back, learn from 20-year-old Robbie, and maybe I can teach you some lessons on how the fuck not to get caught, because that was terrible. That was absolutely awful. The dealers in Dave Chappelle in Half Baked was a better weed man.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole thing's just so ridiculous. This is the headline for our episode coming after this, and the news no one cares about, obviously. Like, it's just so ridiculous. Like Jake summed it up perfectly. How stupid can you be? You're too rich to be this stupid.
For some people, 30 million isn't enough.
Yo, well, at least we know why he couldn't block for Baker last year.
Oh, anybody, man. How do you fall that bad?
Hold on.
Because he was baked.
He's still better at dealing than he is at blocking. Like,
I don't know.
No,
I mean,
no.
I need to get his stats.
He gave up like 10 sacks in 6 games.
No, I mean his stats from dealing, because all I know is he's 0 for 1.
They'll find it. Oh, they'll find it. They're searching all his texts, man. They know what he's been doing.
Like, now he's got to do 20 years. Like that's gonna suck. And then I just want to add one last thing.
He better be blocking for that return man in the shower.
Oh shit! Big Bubba gonna get him. One thing I want to add to this: how we were just talking about the CBA earlier, and I mentioned lesser marijuana penalties. You know how pissed I would be that I'm sitting in my damn cell and I read that the next day. Like, damn, all I had to do was sit home. I could have rolled a blunt this off season. Like, you didn't even get to touch one blunt out of 157 pounds that you had. Like, that sucks.
That's minimum $650K.
Yeah, you are correct. Good math, Jordan Love.
But it is a good thing it did not get to the
Public
US.
school did
Some
not
of that
fail
weed
you.
there is pretty sketchy, I'm sure. You know? It's probably a little sketchy, that product that he was selling.
Yo, the fact that Jordan Love, how many ounces was it?
2,512.
Damn, that kid is good. I love having him on the staff. Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's about how much I'd probably buy in like 6 months. He got caught with like half my year's supply. Oh man.
Robbie, was he bringing that to you?
I wish.
That was Robbie's dealer.
I would have had to have him all
back order.
up though, man. You know, you can't get caught. That's the name of the game. You need to watch more Power, man. Let's see here. Getting into the next topic, we're actually going to talk about BKB Seattle Seahawks. Greg Olsen signs a $7 million deal with the Seattle Seahawks. Do you think that he's a star? He's a star tight end in fantasy or not?
We're going to you first this time, Jake.
Yeah.
What was the question? I was typing. Sorry.
Will Greg Olsen be a fantasy star next year? And actually, is he even going to be relevant on that offense? Does this even improve their offense?
I think so. I mean, one of those things you don't know. It's a total change in system, right? So, but if you produce, I think you can produce anywhere, and I think he'll figure it out. But my opinion is I would have to see otherwise before I say no.
So I'm just going to have to remind everybody here about a guy named Will Disley, who was a big tight end for them when he was healthy.
Is he back?
Yeah.
Though?
He'll be back for the start of the year.
Was it an ACL or Achilles?
It was an ACL, which is 9 months recovery, and he
Yeah.
tore it in like week 6.
My boy Will.
He'll be back.
Yeah, 6 to 9 months. So he's got plenty of time.
Glassfoot will be a second stringer.
I mean, so I think that I think they brought him here for one purpose. Well, not for one purpose. I mean, he's a talented tight end. You can't deny, his career. But I think the reason why they brought him here is he's a great blocking tight end. And we all know Seattle wants to run the ball. And he's going to help them run the ball better. Disley's still going to be the more fantasy relevant tight end between these two. There's going to be games where Greg Olsen gets a touchdown, sure. But you're going to want to own Disley if you have to own one of these. But why not, why would you want to split tight end? Like, you don't want a team that's rotating their tight ends. So, yeah, just I'm not touching either one of them fantasy-wise.
Yeah, I mean, the injury is still a concern. I mean, it's awful that it happened his rookie year, like week 3. But
yeah, but I'm just as concerned that Olsen gets injured during the season. I mean, he hasn't had a healthy season, in how many years now?
Well, he's played through it, but the first major injury was a broken leg his last year in Chicago, right?
Yeah, so
That's the one I remember the most. That was gross. That injury was so hard to watch.
all right. So me and Ty, we had just started the podcast around when that happened, I believe. And bro, I got you, J Love. 1 second. And dog, when we were, but that's how we were not doing play-by-play. We weren't calling commentary.
We're gonna be up tomorrow too, dude.
I fucking threw up when I saw that injury. When I saw that injury, I was done. I really threw up. Like, I was like, oh, hell no. Yo, we have a dono. Hi.
Woo!
Up in the chat, dropping 99. So divine. I appreciate it, bro. Y'all know the deal. Y'all know I don't have.
I took mine out for side, man.
I got you, Robbie.
Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz girls what to do.
Damn, BK getting fucking demanding out there.
Right.
Drink now.
Did a drill sergeant ever tell you that in your days in the military?
To drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was always water.
Yeah, it was always water.
Yeah. You're like, I think I broke my leg. Drink water.
Yep, drink water. Hydrate. They don't even use the word drink. They say hydrate. I used to hate that. I'm like, yo, can you just tell me to fucking get some water? Like, bro, no, hydrate.
I'm not even thirsty. I don't care.
JD's
Hydrate.
99 hell yeah. I'll finish the last 99.
Whew. See, that's why I brought a whole 6-pack this time.
Dude, I had to put some beers in the fridge, man. I should not even put them in the fridge. Just set it in the snow outside on the porch.
It's great for tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
All right, cheers.
Yo, cheers. I gotta go grab another one.
And I'm not taking a whole shot because this is scotch. It's not.
J-Love,
It's better than
I swear, I'm gonna send you some Capri Suns. You're cheersing us next time.
Yo, I can't
Send it
wait.
with the helmet.
I think he prefers Sunny Delight.
Send it with the helmet.
We got
We got another one away. Oh shit.
what I'm
Oh, guys,
talking
come
about.
on. You gotta
We run out.
appreciate it.
One day we're going to talk about football again.
I know what we're doing if we talk about football. And
We are. We're talking about moving drugs
Yeah, I got you.
from players that played football and probably played because they're going to serve 20 years in jail.
All right, guys, I'm going to take us on to the next topic here. We'll circle down J-Love and then around. Hopefully we get it back to Robbie when he gets back. But for the next thing, our next topic, who is the hardest running back to take down in the NFL, in your opinion?
Is there any discussion?
I don't think there is. I feel like this is like
I
Pretty
mean, it's
easy.
the man that Tyrann Mathieu described as hitting a rock.
Do you want to say it together?
It's 1, 2, 3. Derrick Henry.
CMC. Oh. No, I was joking.
He's hard to take down for a different reason.
Yeah.
He'll go around you and
now-
make you fall and stomp on you as he freaks you out. But no,
Right? He'll make you
people
break
just
your
don't
own.
want to hit Derrick Henry.
Yeah, CMC will make you break your own bones, and Derrick Henry will break your bones. Who? If you guys had to choose a second running back, though, who would it be? Because I feel like that's not even a discussion at this point.
Yeah.
Like it's Derrick Henry. So let's go with running back number 2. Who is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Saquon. Even though he had that injury-riddled second year, I think if you go back to his rookie year with those semi-fresh legs coming out of college, he ran through people, he ran over people, and again, he's that 3-down back. While McCaffrey kind of lacks some of that power, which he did make up for this past year because he put on that muscle. Saquon will run through you, and he will shake you out of your boots.
Sleeper pick for me, Nick Chubb.
Sorry, I just read that comment.
Yeah, I know Nick Chubb always falls forward all the time.
Yeah. I like it.
Bunch of yards after contact.
So, Robbie, we all agree. I mean, I feel like we're talking about the running back that's hardest to bring down in the NFL. We all agree that it's got to be Derrick Henry. So we're going with who's second? Who comes after him, in your opinion?
me. I'm kidding.
You're a wide receiver. You don't count. I said running back.
I don't want that punishment in my body. Nah. What I'm gonna say is, and who I'm gonna vote for, when healthy, Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is elusive. He was my way too early running back MVP last year. Of course, Christian McCaffrey won the Rummy. But I gotta be the one on this panel to put some respect on the dude's name. He impressed me up until the very end, and his FSU injuries came back to plague him. Hate FSU running backs.
Is Dalvin Cook the NFL's version of Chris Paul?
Ooh, don't do him like that.
I would love to answer that, but I don't know enough about basketball to answer that.
You know,
Whenever the lights are
he kinda
brightest and the
reminds me
season's
of.
about to come to an end, he gets hurt.
Yeah, but you know who he's like?
Mm.
Sadly, LaDainian Tomlinson. In the playoffs, he was never there. Always got hurt in the playoffs, but put up 1,500 yards in the regular season.
Yeah, Barry Sanders too. But he was never there in the playoffs for no fault of his own.
He would have played. He would have played through everything. That dude ran. People say he retired too soon. That dude was beat up.
Yeah.
That dude retired because he was beaten up to hell and back. So he did not retire because he didn't get enough carries.
So Peter gets pissed off when we talk about animal cruelty, guys. Careful.
No, but he ran more than any running back in NFL history. Just most of it was lateral.
Did we talk about Christian McCaffrey's elusiveness though? We did. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that we hinted on that. His film absolutely insane. If you guys ever, especially a lot of you other podcasters are in the chat, I encourage you to just watch this film and promo his cuts. Especially when he hits that weak side. The dude breaks corners' ankles like it's nothing. I don't think there's a corner in the league that can tackle Christian McCaffrey. And it's not because of contact. It's because
We have a consensus pick in the chat that it's Jake Miller though.
what?
Everyone's been talking about Jake for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Bro,
I'm so modest, guys, because I have things to brag about and like promote in life, like working full time, like every other person. Yes,
Man, That's what I'm talking. One drink for man. I know. I mean, I appreciate that, Ronaldo, but I do agree with you. I think Zeke's up there in the discussion.
And
No,
we're
he's a
talking with military people here. I think they're much better than I am. I was never military, so it probably knocked me down a peg.
Uh,
Hey,
Somebody just said he ran a 2.89.
he's still in. My ass is normal. I'm normal. So I am a regular human being. And I love
I was not in the military, so I think I got to have a little bit of a, knock me down a bit.
Someone said that Jake could catch Tyreek with Tyreek having a 20-yard head start.
That's like a 1.5.
Tyreek could run up the field,
Yeah,
punch or dash, giving me a 20-yard head start. He'd run the field twice by the time I run it once.
Yo, we should do like a funny article on Rumboyz.com of just nothing but Chuck Norris style Jake Miller jokes, like Rumboyz at this, Rumboyz at that. Oh my gosh. Getting back into football, I did mention pissing off PETA, by the way. Let's go ahead and talk about the abused Lion Cubs up in Detroit.
Leafs defense just said I could be a model, by the way, earlier. Nope, probably not.
Damian Snacks Harrison was released by the Detroit Lions, as well as he was released. Where will he land and why?
I think we're going. I'll take this one first. we got kind of out of order this last time because Robbie was out. But I'll hit it. So I think that you're going to see a lot of teams who are maybe hurting for cap space looking for him because they're going to be able to get him for cheap. And you don't think so, J Love?
He's going to nose tackles in the league.
But he also had a really bad year this year.
Okay, if you compare it to his other years, but if you look at him compared to other nose tackles, they're still really good numbers.
So this is my why I'm saying that. When I say that, I'm talking about like the team I'm about to bring up is the 49ers. Because if they can't afford their players, they're going to be able to get him for a discount compared to their players.
Okay, listen, stop. You're not going to compare Eric Armstead over here to Damon Harrison. Also, that's not a scheme fit, so I'm going to get on you for that. That's a 3-4 nose and not a 4-3 DT. Stop.
No, I mean that's true, but I think that he can adjust. Like, do you think he can't learn? Like,
no, he's played 3-4 nose his whole career, like literally his entire career.
That doesn't mean he can't do it. Like, you've seen other players switch up to different defensive schemes and several times. Obviously, that's not how he's been played, but it doesn't mean he can't do it. And I think if you get him at a discount, then they're willing. That's a team that's willing to try. They have one of the best defensive coordinators, or probably the best in the NFL.
You're not gonna get Damon Harrison. He's still gonna be asking for like $9 million.
But that's a huge discount compared to what they have.
Eric Armstead's going to be asking for probably about 10 to 12. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Because Eric Armstead's young. He's 25, 26. Damon Harrison is literally a decade older.
Absolutely. I'm not arguing that. I would rather have Eric Armstead.
Well, facts are facts. You can't argue facts.
Yeah, but the money.
Come on.
What the fuck?
I mean, my hairline's not great either, guys. Let's be real about that.
I'm done.
Oh my god.
That's the show. Keep chewing your tape.
No,
I will drink to that and take it easy after that.
I mean, obviously you want Eric Armstead if you're comparing the two. It's like, who do I want? But when the dollars come into play and you're hurting for cap space, that's my point.
Yeah, you're hurting for cap space anyway. Let's put it this way. You're not getting either. End of discussion.
No, I disagree with that completely. I think they could totally get either one of them.
Okay, forget the Niners. Moving on. Damon Harrison is not going to retire. I think a lot of people were suspecting that because he's 36, but the fact that they're cutting him, even though he was going to be on the contract, means he's not going to retire. I think a team that's going to look at him, probably the Broncos. I know that they're not getting Chris Harris back. That's $13 million that they can bring in with Vic Fangio as their head coach, and a defensive mastermind. They need to improve that defensive line with Derek Wolfe heading out, and in all honesty, with Drew Lock playing like he did last year, I think they can honestly contend for that, not that division, but for a wild card spot. And I think they're going to take this move forward. And Damon Harrison, even for like a 1 year play while Draymond Jones can play at that 3-4 defensive end, it's going to vastly improve that defensive line and help out a lot.
I mean, my thing is I feel like it's going to be a team that's more trying to make a Super Bowl run this year. You know what I mean? Because of his age.
Okay, yeah, but all those teams making a Super Bowl run don't have the cap space to spend on a nose tackle.
You are correct.
I think they can though. Like the 49ers, for example, can restructure Richard Sherman's contract, and then they could easily afford that.
But is Richard Sherman going to take that restructure
for a longer deal? I would if I were him.
Okay, whatever you say.
I mean, it's more money in the end.
Okay, let me ask you this. Emmanuel Sanders is going to be a free agent this year. Are you going to pay Emmanuel Sanders? Or
no, no, that's what I'm saying. You have to cut Emmanuel Sanders if you're going to do something like that.
Okay, so then who your wide receivers going to be?
Jalen Hurd and Debo.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, no. Say bye-bye to your playoff hopes.
Mm-hmm.
If those are your receivers.
I disagreed. Debo stepped it up
You're
with the end of
You're a 49ers fan.
Yeah, and you got George Kittle as your number one wide receiver anyway.
Okay, I'll give you that. But you need a wide. you need a wide out on the outside. It's proven. You look at the Eagles. They have Travis. They also
don't have the defense.
They have Zach Ertz. Okay, but if you look at their offense,
Emmanuel Sanders wasn't there for the first half of the 49ers season where they were undefeated. I'm just saying you can do it. Like, to say that you can't win without that, they did.
Name one team in the playoffs that had a wide receiver caliber of Jalen Hurd and Debo Samuel. You can't.
Well, that's because you're predecessing that off last season when one of them didn't play.
Next year, you're not going to see it.
But if they play as expected to get them there, then they would have to take a step forward, which then you wouldn't be able to say that same comment. Pettis is out. Pettis is gone. Don't worry about Pettis. Someone said that in the comments.
Well,
sorry. Yeah, let's let Jake go.
Okay,
we could go back and forth all night.
It's going to be quick. He's in a good spot here because he can choose to take a cut and go to a good team, or he can take and maybe get a 2-year deal or get a 3-year extended deal.
Who?
And maybe a little more money. Harrison. He might get a 2 to 3 year deal at most.
Harrison is not playing for 3 years.
Okay, maybe 2 then. But he can get more money on any team that won't win, or he can go to a winning team. It's really up to him, so it's hard to pick for him. But I think he'll probably go to a team we won't expect. It is going to be that you're not making the playoffs, but you're going to get that extra couple $1 million in your pocket. I don't think he's going to go take a pay cut to win.
Bruh.
Justin, no offense, but
this man was due up $8.5 million. Okay, at the time of his release. I don't
Ring's
know.
not worth that much. Ring's not worth $8 million.
Exactly. I don't know who's going to pick him. Where he is going to go. There will be a team. But I think that it's going to be a team that's – I don't think it's a Super Bowl contending team trying to go get him. I think it's going to be a team that's going to be kind of struggling. I see a low-tier team. I like your take on the Broncos. I really love that Broncos take. And plus, you kind of have to toss in the Broncos somehow being that headquarters here in Colorado Springs. But I think that the Broncos could be a case. You put him on the front line, and then you got Von Miller back there. Of course, with Chubb and so on and so forth there for that.
Simmons.
Exactly. You got guys still. You got guys still in Denver. And we don't talk about Denver a lot on this show.
Denver, in my opinion, Denver's one of those teams that you could see taking a massive leap. They get a left tackle and they get a few corners. You're looking at a team that's fully well-rounded.
Well, I think they also need another wide receiver there too, though.
I'll give you that. Other than Cortland Sutton, unless you see Deshaun Hamilton.
And I love Cortland Sutton. I don't.
Cortland Sutton's a monster.
I love Cortland Sutton, but I just don't see it in Hamilton taking.
I don't really see it in Deshaun Hamilton either. I can see him being a 3-4. not a 2.
Cortland Sutton. You say his name 3 times, and he'll roll on your ass like Candyman. That dude is nasty, bro.
But,
I got my fantasy projections coming out soon, and I'm
Justin,
way higher on Sutton.
you know how you're talking about, I'm not going to compare these two, but I'm just saying, you want to talk about like tight ends being good wide receivers, looking at Noah Fant, who, when Drew Lock was on that team, he spread the field.
But I think there's a good reason why you're not comparing the two.
I'm not going to compare. I'm not going to compare your tight end to, of course, Noah Fant. But
no, but I do love Noah Fant.
Two different levels.
Yeah,
you're talking about the holy trinity of tight ends.
Noah Fant was real good this year.
I do like Noah Fant. He's going to have a huge jump. Most tight ends have their breakout year in year 3 as well. So I think Noah Fant's going to have a big year this year, but he's still not going to quite reach his potential.
But I think we're still going to see that second-year jump. And
absolutely.
In my opinion, you're probably going to see the Broncos take a receiver in round 1 if it's not a corner. And the only way they take a corner is if Jeff Okudah falls to 15, and that's not happening in any way, shape, or form. You're going to be looking at either Henry Ruggs or maybe T. Higgins, or looking at this draft, maybe even Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb falls to them. And if that happens, they're going to be looking great. They get that second wide receiver, and you're looking at amazing weapons for this guy with a great dual setup of running backs.
Okay. Yo, really quick, I like how J Love went. So just for those that don't know, J Love is aka Mini Todd McShay. I love how he went into free agency frenzy mode, which we have that coming up. Be on the lookout for that. And he went into scouting mode just then. Be on the lookout.
Rumboyz graphics.
Holy fuck!
Rumboyz graphics.
Oh my god!
Let me get a little pour here, because I'm definitely gonna drink to that one in a sec.
Right, I'm gonna finish the rest of this beer for sure.
Oh.
Man, that's the bonus I just got him.
Hey, yo, shout out to you, by the way. Beautiful work is coming out of the Rumboyz graphics department. He actually just did a piece for Justin. Do you want to talk on that piece really quick while we all take our drinks?
I'm drinking too.
Oh yeah, I mean, but
don't leave me out.
Yeah, I mean, but just explain to the people really quick. I mean, about his work. You're a client,
Yeah, he's been doing incredible work. Just all of our graphics that come out, the graphic you see behind Robbie, that all comes from Rumboyz graphics. He does most of my graphics as well, and he also does videos for us. He does amazing work. I've been trying to learn how to do this stuff for a while, and I put together some simple graphics and stuff. But the ones he puts together are just amazing. They blow me out of the water. And I love just having that graphics department there to take care of us.
So
now that's said, and you got that poured, let's fucking do this.
Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What it do, dilly.
BKB, to answer your question, keep getting on Justin about that take about Damon Harrison, because that was stupid. No, I'm playing.
No. BKB. So BKB's a Seahawk fan, first of all. So no matter what I say, if it involves the 49ers, he's going to hate it.
I mean, are you figuring what team I'm a fan of?
I know, but I get it. There's the rivalry because we're in the same division. But Seahawks absolutely hate the 49ers.
But
trust
again,
me, I live in Seattle.
I'd like to think of myself as a non-biased fan. I like to think with reason and logic over. Oh, I'm a fan.
Yo,
of
you're
gonna. Let me go.
J Love, hold on. Let me J Love alive really quick, okay? Bro, remember that time that you had picked the fucking Eagles in the playoffs?
Okay, wait, hold up, listen, stop.
No, you want to hold on. You want to go at clock management?
No, wait. Stop. I had reason for that. And had Carson Wentz not got hurt and knocked out by Jadeveon Clowney, you're looking at the Eagles winning that game.
Fuck no.
Oh, okay, whatever you say.
Look, bro, you're not even drinking right now, and I think that you could possibly be drunk just for even assuming that they were going to beat this Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, that's why they were in that game with Josh McCown. Cool. Good to know.
And Josh McCown was playing like a little goddamn. I can't even. It's 2020.
Yeah, and that's why they were in that game.
Cool.
That dude was playing on a completely torn hamstring,
Yeah, okay.
too. McCown was on a totally torn hamstring and played, by the way. Props to him.
McCown got enough jerseys for each one of his kids to wear one. Hell no. Y'all know no. I hate the Eagles.
Yeah. Okay, and that's you being biased as a Redskins fan.
All right, Mike D.
I'm going to the topic.
I do have an issue with that statement. Wentz made them have that slight chance to have that playoff run. He was hurt, and he does get hurt a lot, but he helps the team win. He helps the team, but he gets hurt and is unreliable to be healthy.
Listen,
I think
all
that's
I'm
a fair
saying
ground.
is just look at it from an objective point of view. Get the bias aside. If Carson Wentz is in that game instead of Josh McCown, you're looking at a completely different game.
That's
and the
true,
fact that
but
they were even close.
Josh
with
McCown
Josh
played his
McCown.
heart out though in that game. I was shocked at how hard he played, but I completely agree with you, J Love. Also though, Wentz needs to learn how to fucking slide. He needs to learn how to slide. Like, come on, dude, you can't take hits to the head. We've realized that.
I mean, he was sliding. He was sliding when he got knocked
But
out.
he tried to wait until the last minute to slide. Like, let me get an extra 4 inches.
I love how I just tried to defend you.
No, but dude, I appreciate it, but I also got to come in with my honest opinion and analysis on this.
And I had my bias to Wentz. We have the same birthday, so.
Wow.
You and who?
I think
Carson Wentz
is a quarterback.
LeBron, Tiger Woods, Carson Wentz have the same birthday.
Next topic.
And Jake Miller. Man, you're just giving this chat more reason to keep going with this, Jake.
Yeah. Yes, we're covering the people that are more famous and successful than I'll ever be in my life. Yes, this is how it goes.
Really quick. That right there is the sexiest profile pic in the whole entire chat. That right there. Topic Kane and CHT squad. Taylor Gabriel and Prince Amukamara were also.
Man, Mike Deegan crazy. I'm sorry. I got to bring it back to this real quick. He just said in the chat, Garoppolo better than Wentz. I'm a 49er fan, and I will not say that. Garoppolo is he is the exact most average quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me whatever you want.
That's all you guys need, though.
Carson Wentz was a top 10 quarterback last year.
J-Love, you took it too far.
I think he was a top 10 quarterback. You get rid of his receivers drops and you get an actual substance around him.
But you could also say, but if you start getting rid of other quarterbacks' receivers drops, then he falls out of the top 10.
Stop. Give him one competent receiver.
Jimmy G will not
And
disappear,
he's
BKB. They paid him a lot of money.
I mean, yeah, you could say that, J-Love, but he has one of the best tight ends in the NFL as well. He has two of the best tight ends in the NFL.
Stop.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to tell you Jimmy Garoppolo's the top 10. Well, I will tell you that he's an amazing quarterback.
Just bringing up bringing up good weapons is like taking away a part of a person's game. You can what I'm saying also is kind of along that same line and saying how if you give a guy a good receiver, that's whatever. I'm saying give him a competent receiver. Nelson Aguilar's your starting slot is atrocious. You're looking at Greg Ward, a guy who came off the street, and that's your best receiver? Just stop. Give him anybody who's even remotely decent. You give him Deebo Samuel, okay, that's another 500 yards to tack on. He didn't have a receiver on that roster who had over 500 receiving yards.
You could you could do that with other quarterbacks as well, though. That's my point. You're what if he had him? What if he had him?
Done this? No other quarterback ever has never had a receiver get under 500
let's not live in a world of what if.
Stop.
Let's live in a world of what actually is. And he wasn't a top 10. In the world we live in, he didn't have that wide receiver, and he wasn't a top 10.
None of his receivers had over 500 yards.
Okay,
one.
But that doesn't make him a top 10.
We just made Chuck Norris jokes relevant in this stream. I just thought about that. I was like, I've not seen those forever.
Tonight has been crazy. Chuck Norris jokes, crazy donos, and these two motherfuckers here arguing back and forth.
Yeah, they're just reading the chat while me and Jay Love going back.
So, Clock, Robbie started the next topic, but we'll let you start here.
Yeah,
Gabriel and Mukamara. Where are they going to be? Will they retire? Will they ever get signed again? Go. Next topic.
I actually think it's your turn to go first, Jake. I went first last time.
Well, I saw the contract for Prince Mukamara. He's made some money. I could see him walking away from football. He seems like more of a intellectual, and he would probably need to be in a title contender or a crazy good deal for him to come back. That's my opinion. Gabriel, I'm not impressed by him overall as a player. I think if he can get a third receiver spot anywhere, he should take it, and it probably will not be on a good team.
I'm gonna feed into J Love right here and say the Eagles could probably use him.
They could. No, but to second that, both players needed to get cut. Taylor Gabriel wasn't producing. He was hurt all last year. Prince Mukamara was well overpaid. And to even go a little bit further, they need to cut Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd was a first-round pick a few years ago, and he has a $13.2 million cap hit. You cut that, that's money that you can spend in free agency and easily replace him on less than half of that.
I think Gabriel could absolutely get signed to a team. I don't know about a starting gig, but I think he could still find his way onto a team as a wide receiver 4 even, where he's not on the field all the time. But I think there's tons of teams that would take him there.
Go back to Atlanta.
Yeah. I think San Francisco, actually, if he doesn't want a big payday, not to be biased again, but because of their head coach's history with him, may take him there.
No, he can go back to Atlanta and be that third receiver.
Yeah, I know, but Atlanta does have a much deeper wide receiver core than San Francisco does.
So my thing is with Gabriel. So first off, with Gabriel, you're a wide receiver 3 with tremendous upside when you're pretty much running a go route. Like the 9 is his only route. This dude literally only runs like 7s and 9s. So that I have a problem with. I don't feel like Taylor Gabriel has as long as he's been in the league, has a full grasp of the route tree. His speed makes it where he only runs deep routes. So with that, if I'm a team that's looking at him, I'm cautious. Will he end up on a team? Absolutely. The speed allows it. Now with Prince Mukamara, a team is definitely going to take him. Joey Riata was in the chat. Jimbo, thank you for hopping over on Sportscaster. Joey was in the chat earlier, and he had mentioned, how PFF Pro Football Focus that had him ranked as what? Can't remember what exactly it was. He was like one of the top corners, pretty much. If anything, maybe top corner on that team. I don't know. A team is going to pick up Prince Mukamara. I don't know if the contract is worth it. I'm not spending 15, 16 mil on a guy like that.
He's going to ask for that, though. He's going to ask for like 4.
He was making 9.
He was making 9, but that's what he was paid when he was 27.
Yeah, he's not getting paid 9.
He's going to get paid 4. 9. 3 or 4.
I think he's getting. I think probably 4. I could see it being 5 somewhere around there.
That's why I think he's a smart dude. He has things outside of football. He might walk away if he doesn't get a deal on a good team where he could win.
He's really going to get a deal. And a team will pay him. I think a little bit over 5. I could just see it just because it's the name Prince Mukamara. You were all about that balling ass Chicago Bears.
Rumboyz graphics.
The Bears are desperate need for a corner. Did he drop another one?
He did.
Yes, Rumboyz fitness launch in 5 days.
In 5 fucking days. If you guys haven't seen that video, by the way, you should check that out.
Prince Mukamara is a serviceable corner. He's 30 years old, so he's going to drop off a little bit. But, I mean, you pay him $4 or $5 million to be that third or fourth corner on a good team. Like the Chiefs. The Chiefs can easily use him as a third or fourth corner on that team for $4 to $5 million. And that's bolstering a secondary that at times was good last year, but needs help.
It does need help. I completely agree with you. And, they did improve hugely once they brought Tyrann Mathieu there. But, yeah, their secondary is definitely their weakest point of their team.
I'd go with their linebackers. Their linebackers suck.
Well, yeah. Their pass defense, I should say. But I think that's also a kind of a product of how their team's built. They put up massive amounts of points, and the other team's forced to throw the ball a lot.
What I want to do with the Mukamura, what I'm probably going to do in my own time, is I just want to sit down and really, really break down his film and study it up before seeing what team and what team he could fit in and for who.
I mean, he was on the Bears, so that's kind of like it's like a multi-front defense. I mean, he was definitely their cornerback one last year because their corners are awful in Chicago. They are.
Man, they used to have such great defensive backs there too. It's sad.
They lost Bryce Callahan in free agency. He went over to Denver. I mean, that's a huge loss. That was their slot corner. Again,
but I kind of agree with Jake with this though, that I think that he's going to try and go to a team where he has a chance to win a Super Bowl, which makes me kind of side with you, J Love, about him going to the Chiefs.
Yo, what is JD on tonight? Oh my god!
He's can use corners.
It's a few people. They're all kind of having a good time. It's fun. It's fun.
Let's see here. Next topic that we are getting into, though. I appreciate all of you, gentlemen. I'm supposed to be ordering some goddamn food right now from Chili's. My wife is like, yo, figure out what you want. Does Daniel Jones take the next leap in his career underneath June and Garrett?
Yeah, can I start this, please?
Go for it, J Love.
Can I start this? Yeah. No. You know what he's going to keep doing? He's going to keep trying to step up in the pocket and, the ball's on the ground again. He's not going to fix that in 1 year. It's proven. To go back to a guy that I said was a top 10 quarterback, Carson Wentz still can't fix that. That's his main issue. It's something that riddles QBs, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's easily fixable. No, that's tendencies that people have built up through years and years of playing football. And to fix that, it's like changing a player's, like in basketball, it's like changing a player's shot. Or in football, it's like changing a player's release, like when they throw the ball. It's really tough to get rid of those types of tendencies. Oh my God, Tree. No. But it's one of those tendencies that's not going to be broken. Daniel Jones isn't going to take the next step because he has this as a coach. That's not going to help. And we already said that Bill Booth is probably one of the weirdest signings as a head coach I've ever seen.
I agree.
I think is he going to take a leap forward? Absolutely not. He's going to take a baby step backwards. He's got a whole new offense there. He's not going to progress. He hasn't shown the ability to. He hasn't shown the talent to. And like J Love said, his problems are not going to be fixed in 1 year, especially with changing everything around him. It's just too hard for a new quarterback to go through that. You hear it all the time when people saying like, oh, this quarterback never had a chance because they changed offensive coordinators X amount of times while he was there. Well, that's the exact situation that he's in. So don't expect him to step up during that.
No comment on that one. I think it's going to be a Baker type thing.
It can't be Baker. Baker was good for a year.
You change everything around him, and then I can go on a rant about what they did with the offense last year and how they ran the playbook, but I won't. But yeah, it's just going to be one of those things. Too much around him to change, and I still don't trust Saquon to stay healthy either. I don't know if he will. A little concerned about that. Leg injuries repeatedly are not something I want to see in a young back, which will not help his cause either. So,
Burke, if Giants fans are telling you that he's a great coach after all the shit that they talked about when he was at Dallas, you are listening and you are watching the most hypocritical bullshit piece of content that has ever been created. Okay, you cannot sit here and shit on someone just because they're with another team and all of a sudden now they're with your team. Oh, he's great. No,
Connor Burke's not a Giants fan.
I know that Connor's a Giants fan.
He just said that, though. But more importantly,
don't know hype.
Don't know.
On his way out.
Woo!
And I'm not getting drunk, JD, tonight. I'm avoiding this because tomorrow will be our stream where we really have fun.
But you said I'm avoiding this, which means you are.
Oh my gosh, the amount of work that we got to do tomorrow is insane. Why did you even do that, Jake? Fuck! Make sure you guys head to rumboyz.com. Support this crew. Check out Clock Management. Check out J Love's articles on Rumboyz.com. Check out Jake Miller's articles on Rumboyz.com. This is when I tell you, this team here is the hardest fucking working team in the entire sports industry. There is no team that works harder than the Rumboyz. So head over to Rumboyz.com. Support us there as well. Tonight has been litty in a titty, bro.
But
the titties are pretty
keep
lit.
us alive because tomorrow we have to be functional.
No, dude. Oh my
For a
god.
very late stream because that Fury
Yeah.
fight's on at 1 a.m. my time, most
Hey,
likely.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, yes, you are.
Getting into the next topic here. Should the Wonderlic test be removed from the NFL scouting process? Now, let me just first explain the Wonderlic test for those that may not know. It is pretty much in a way of an IQ test surrounding football that players take, and it evaluates them on their positions. Think of it like goddamn standardized testing in public schools, statewide public standardized testing in public schools, or like an SAT or an ACT, except for like football. We will start this one off with Clock. I need to go that way. Yeah.
No, I don't think they should get rid of it. It's just another metric that could be measured for teams. It's another tool they can use if they want. If they don't believe in it, then don't take that into account. Like, that's your choice. I don't see a reason to get rid of it. Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense. And
I guess I'll go next.
I'm actually going to try. I'm making one of these for my fantasy football league that we're going to take to decide our draft order this year.
Oh shit! I gotta take a goddamn exam.
Yep.
I'm down.
Yeah, but overall, the Wonderlic for me, it's one of those things. I don't care if teams don't like it or don't use it. Some of the dumb questions players talk about that they had to read and answer on that stupid thing are hilarious. So I kind of want to keep it just to hear some of the troll questions the NFL owners put on that. Just so, yeah, they should probably keep it because it's kind of hilarious if you read some of the quotes players have about it.
So, real quick, I just want to go through some of the 2019 Wonderlic scores that I have on my phone right now. Best score, best score in the draft. You know who it was? Just take a good guess at who had the best Wonderlic score in the draft.
I have no idea.
I'm walking away because I'm a fucking scream. Bro, do it.
Ryan Finley.
Fuck no!
Yeah, the guy who was drafted and looked awful, and I mean awful, in the NFL. Second was Gardner Minshew. That's okay. Daniel Jones was third. By the way, Ryan Finley put up like a 43, and I think it's out of 45. It's one of the highest scores ever. And you know who was pretty much last? Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray got 20. Also really low was Dwayne Haskins, Drew Lock with 26. So I'm going to go with this. This does not matter unless the team strictly wants to draft off of a Wonderlic, which is clearly biased to four-year starters in college and later round people who also go to Ivy League schools, a la Zach Allen. That's why he got a 39, and he was kind of praised for his football knowledge. He went to an Ivy League school in Boston College, and guess what? He was a four-year player. All these Senior Bowl players are always proven to go to, they always get better scores whenever you go to the Senior Bowl and you take the Wonderlic. It happens. It's what it is. And Robbie mentioned something to me earlier about how he thinks this came into play earlier on in the NFL in the 70s and 80s. When it was primarily used, he thinks it was a race play to prove that certain people are inferior to others.
Yeah. I'm gonna be the person that's probably gonna piss the world off with this. The Wonderlic test was I believe J Love in our research that we have found on this topic was established back in the 1970s. The Wonderlic test is also, from the time that it was also established with the same thought process of that certain quarterbacks weren't as good as certain other quarterbacks. Fuck it. Black quarterbacks weren't as good as goddamn white QBs. That used to be the general consensus. I felt this test was some Jim Crow type shit to fucking be like, hey, nah, like we need a test to show how smart you are at the QB position. Listen, I have been playing ball my entire life. I have coached football. I live, eat, sleep, shit, and breathe this sport. You don't need a test. If someone handed me a test, like, yes, about being a wide receiver, yes, I am going to pass it, but I'm going to look at you like you're fucking stupid. I'm like, so you want me to take a test to show that I can catch a ball? You want me to take a test to show that I know my 9 routes? You want me to take a test to show that I know my assignments? It's stupid. It's preposterous for this to be happening at any position in football. It's absolutely dumb to me. We shouldn't be relying on a. If we're going to rely on academics, let me look at a player's GPA. Let me look at a player's tardiness record in college. Let me look at your attendance, so on and so forth. If we're going to look at academics and we're going to test these guys, let's actually go towards something that can turn over into the field. Let's look at their discipline, their leadership.
Also, I just saw this one real quick. Quinnen Williams got an 11.
Yeah. I'm
33 overall pick.
Like I said, some teams aren't going to use that. Like some teams, and that's fine. I don't think it's necessarily true. But Rob, for your I agree with you. How it was when they first started it, the reason why, not okay. But I mean, that's kind of thrown out the window with one of the top 10 of all time being Colin Kaepernick for quarterbacks. So he kind of ruined that for them. Kind of threw that back in their face. And so, but then I like when you look at some of the high scores on it, I don't think it I think that some of these names you can take into account, to make it it does translate in some way. Not all of them. Because you have Eli Manning, Matthew Stafford, Tony Romo, Aaron Rodgers, all some of the top scores. These are good scores. And I mean, some of those players have had a lot of success. So I'm just saying it's a tool that if a team wants to use it, go ahead and use it. And if you want to go strictly off that, then you're an idiot and your team's going to lose. And that's fine with me too. If you want to use that, go for it. I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's going to win you games. But
and one of the things I want to point out too with what Wonderlic Scores said that you just is kind of inspired me to bring up, Justin. All those Wonderlic Scores that J Love read off we didn't use a Wonderlic test, of course, to give to the players and have them test. But when we evaluated the players, what Wonderlic said about these guys and what me and Jordan said last year in our hype series breakdowns, which look out for part 2 this year, the 2020 version, completely, totally different things. The fact that
absolutely.
There's a member of the media out there like us, a journalist that is, and I'm not going to throw them underneath the table, but I'm just going to put it out there. Do your job. If that's how, if you're making your money just off of releasing fucking Wonderlic Scores, at least make sure that your biggest article of the year will state that not relative to real life play.
And that's not my argument in any way. Is that it should be taken into account.
Yeah, my favorite Wonderlic debate was Tebow scored really bad on the Wonderlic score for a while. I think it was a record low, and they're like, "Oh, there's no way he could be a quarterback." I was like, "There's a lot of reasons he's not a quarterback in the NFL. It's not because of his Wonderlic, but." Oh yeah, the Wonderlic is not why. I
agree.
No, you know who had the third lowest score ever? Frank Gore.
Oh yeah.
Frank Gore got a 6.
All right, that's where you just be.
I'm not even going to argue that score, though, because Frank Gore just runs through people. They're like, can you read the defense? He's like, why do I need to?
In all honesty, it is what it is. Frank Gore is top 10 all time in rushing for a reason.
I love Frank Gore.
The Wonderlic, you spelled it wrong, Connor Burke. It has no K. The Wonderlic test is stupid. It needs to go. I do some scouting. Everybody knows that. I do most of scouting here, and I take no care.
I think Connor Burke was talking about something different.
We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. But no, I don't look at the Wonderlic score. It's one of the things at the combine I don't think anybody needs.
Absolutely.
It's still like a 10-minute test, right? It's like 10 to 15 minutes. You get out of there and you're done.
15 minutes out of 250 people that go to the combine. That adds up.
All right.
I want to go ahead and get into the next topic. I was shocked at the amount of people out there that did not know about the Wonderlic. It's a thing. It's a thing that I hate a lot. Next question. Let's see. We're just about, we're getting towards the end here. Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy withdrew his name from consideration for the University of Colorado, the Buffs here in Colorado, for the head coaching job. Does he have just too sweet of a deal in Kansas City? Is it just that maybe he doesn't want to leave? Let's talk about it for a minute. We start with Jake. Jake.
Oh,
it's
really?
Jake.
Yeah.
I thought it was
You
just.
started me.
No, I started last time.
Okay, yeah. He is the one guy that was punished for having a long playoff run because nobody knew that he would take the job right away. You had to wait to interview him, and I think he knows whatever happens next year, he'll get a spot. Whether they lose early or whether they make the Super Bowl run, and in the end of that, he could say, "I'm done. I have to get my coaching job." Why would he go back to college? Guys go to the NFL and never want to leave because the college game is so much worse. Recruiting is not fun. You don't want to have to be on a plane year round. The NFL, these coaches minus the 9 to 5 with some film study with players they want to cut. This is off time for them. In college, you're recruiting. So I don't see any reason a guy his age and how long he's been coaching in the NFL would ever want to go back to college.
Look, I'm having a brain fart. Eric Bieniemy, yeah. I think that he has a guarantee from the Chiefs that he's going to be the head coach after Andy Reid, and I think that's why he hasn't taken a head coaching job anywhere else. Reid's a few years away from retirement. I would say 2 or 3. Bieniemy is going to be fine, sitting pretty as one of the highest paid offensive coordinators in a few years once he gets that contract extension, and then he'll get promoted to be the head coach. I think it's that plain and simple. I don't see him going anywhere else because many teams have had a chance to talk to him, and they've interviewed him a few times. I don't think it's about whether or not he's going to finish wherever he finishes in the playoffs because we've seen coordinators take a job and then they win and then they keep on coordinating. It is what it is. However, it is a little bit more of a time-consuming task. It doesn't really matter.
I think also with him, it's not a bad call to stay there another year because, they are I haven't looked at the odds, but I'm guessing they are very favored to win the Super Bowl again.
They should be.
So I would go ahead and, continue to roll with that. If you're coming off 2 Super Bowl wins, you're probably going to get an even better contract.
Oh my God, JD.
My 40 time keeps getting lower.
Yeah, mine keeps going up.
0.89, man. That's rough.
That's the Flash. What do you mean?
I'm
like,
Robbie's not here, so
I'm more
going to move
Vegeta than
on to
Goku. I feel like that's like Vegeta speed in the Saiyan saga.
All right, guys.
I don't know if J-Love knows Dragon Ball Z references, but
Oh man,
I
know
never
Cla-
really. I watched a few episodes. I'm not really the biggest.
I
Dragon
figured
Ball
J
fan.
Love would be a big Dragon
Man,
Ball Z
I
guy.
flew through Super. Can't wait for the new season.
All right, I'm gonna take us into the next one, guys. So while Robbie's gone, and then we'll same order as last time when I did it with J Love first. So, what does the XFL have to do to improve quarterback play? Because we don't want to see this league turn out like the AAF did.
Wait, did y'all just move over to another question?
Yeah, I got it.
I know, I trusted you. That's why
We kept it moving. We're good.
I was like, Justin thinks like me, so I can just leave. No, I just want to drop my Airbnb take really quick if y'all don't mind.
Yeah, go for it, man.
One, everyone knows that I'm a huge fan of this coach specifically. I don't think there's any offensive coordinator in the NFL that, as a player myself, I'd rather work for. But with that being stated, I think that he has a really sweet deal. He has a good thing going for him. He knows his level. The greatest thing that you can do as a human being is self-assess yourself. Know your rights, know your wrongs, know your strengths, know your weaknesses. And I think that Bieniemy's done that. And because of that, that's why he is staying. I want to quickly go at Stephen A. Smith's neck for using Eric Bieniemy's decision-making as a way that he can talk about the Rooney Rule. Look, guys just didn't want to leave their post. There are plenty of guys that Don Capers likes what he's doing. Marvin Lewis is kind of in a way chilling. Eric Bieniemy, the most certified out of any and all of them, and probably the best head coaching prospect, did not want to leave Kansas City. It is what it is. So I just want to shout those. I want to kind of go at those analysts that were making a bigger deal of this than what it was, and Bieniemy choosing to withdraw his name from Colorado, which I would have loved to see. I could have gotten tickets dirt cheap. I love his offense. I really do. I'm a huge fan. It sucks from a fan standpoint if you're a UC Buffs fan, and you want to see high octane football up close, but the guy's happy. And I say that for all the media members out there that are hating on him, shut up and let him be happy, please, because the guy's great.
I mean, yeah, if he were like 38 or 39, I could see him making a jump. But at
He's 50.
50 years old, man, yeah. Why would you go back to the college game at that point?
Not even that. He's so good.
Yeah.
The way that he motions, the way that he'll break motion out of trips, he uses and he'll use that to snap it straight to the fucking receiver. You know the timing that takes when you're pretty much running an option straight to the fucking receiver.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard that's just a hard play to run, and it takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
And just coordination.
He had so much leverage too. It's one of those things where he did get a coach job, and so I was like, well, you had to wait till he won the title because he did such a good job. At that point, if he said no, you had no head coach. If you're gonna wait on this one guy to take your coaching job, you can't just hire a dude while he's in a playoff run. So this Super Bowl run actually hurt his head coaching chances, but I mean, it'll come. And like J Love said, it'll probably be in KC in a few years. And I hope it is.
Bieniemy, you call Y trips go? Hit me up, dog. I'm your guy.
J Love wrote his playbook.
I'm not gonna dumb everyone down or bore everyone with all my X's and O's talk. I will get into that in the scouting series where you guys can get a very in-depth look at from my play calling style as well. But dude's a fucking monster. I guarantee that no one's offensive playbook looks like his in the NFL.
Well, where J Love goes on the XFL quarterback play, and if it can't be fixed, and who to bring in to fix it.
There we go, Jake. Hell yeah.
Yep. So that was where you left off. J Love ready?
Yeah. The XFL needs to find a way to attract people from college. There is no age restriction. They need to find out people from high school, top recruits. They need to find a way. It's not going to be that hard. They're going to be able to get paid when they go to the XFL. They're going to get that bag that people don't want to already use in college. If you could compare this to college basketball, where college basketball is kind of dying and people are already taking an alternative route, you can see that kind of playing out here. However, college football is definitely still the main pipeline. And until the XFL kind of accepts that they're going to be a pipeline for the NFL, that's not really going to happen. Once they really accept it that they're going to be sort of a developmental league for the NFL, you're going to see a lot more players going in, and there's going to be a lot of turnover with the rosters. But I think it's really going to progress them because then people are going to start tuning in just for the reason that some people tune into college football. I would not have started watching college football had I not figured out when I was like 9 or 10, oh, these people are where these players that are coming in are so good to the NFL. Where are they coming from? And I want to figure it out. And now it's one of my favorite things to do is sit down and just watch college football and watch tape. I think it's just going to be better for the XFL if they go along that route.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on board with you, J Love. I think this year, they brought in these players, but they've established a league. So I think that's where they're going to have to go with it. Is start bringing in these players from college, and as they make it a profitable league, they'll be able to pay them, more and more as it becomes more profitable, and they'll be able to compete not with a starting role in the quarter or in the NFL, but maybe a backup role somewhere where they could start. Players are deciding between, do I want to be a third string quarterback or do I want to go to the XFL and actually play? And maybe I can make a name for myself. So I completely agree with you that they got to start getting these players out of college.
Yeah, and I think the best way to do that is the out of high school thing would bother me because football does have an injury risk. I don't think that's the best idea. I think a player who's 20 years old, like a good example would be Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion, where he has played 2 years. What if he went to the XFL right now? Played 1 year in the XFL, then went pro. Went NFL pro, I should say. I think that's the best way to do it. And if you don't get that, get guys that maybe are stuck in the transfer portal and you find those quarterback prospects who. Okay.
I have tried to remain professional this whole episode.
Okay. Well, I just keep going. We'll know that one. But yeah, I think you're gonna find people who are stuck in the transfer portal in college who would do the XFL. Next topic.
I think that's the stream, guys.
What's funny is Jake literally has to go over his fight weekend to close out. So it's so funny that everything is hyping Jake up because Jake literally has a job that he has to do, but he's gotta try and focus past all this shit. I don't want to be Jake right now. I would not be able to focus on my closing segment. I'd be pissed, dude. Fuck. The XFL to improve quarterback play.
Oh, don't worry, Jake. I had your back.
They gotta do what J Love said. Go get guys out of high school. Go get guys out of college. No age restriction. Develop them up. Me personally, not even just from. I'm not a quarterback. I played third string quarterback in high school, but that was just run, honestly. So I was pretty much a fucking overglorified running back.
I was a quarterback until middle school because I didn't hit a growth spurt and I couldn't see over the lineman anymore.
Bro, when they put me back there, I hated that shit. I was like, so you mean to tell me I'm literally going to get the ball and have to run? They're like, yep. Yo, this is the dumbest play calling ever. and then 2 years later, the Wildcat is all over the fucking Eagles offense. The Eagles Chip Kelly and the Eagles blow up the Wildcat. I was pissed. But I hate the Wildcat, dog, because I've been in it.
You mean Miami? It hurt. Not the Eagles? Because that did not work for the Eagles.
They did not work out for the Eagles well. But no,
Miami. I'm just thinking. I was like,
with the XFL too. I want to see them bring in better coaches. I want to see them bring in bigger name coaches. I just dropped the name Chip Kelly. Like, people would fucking make memes and laugh, and that'd be good publicity to bring in Chip Kelly and have him be a meme for the damn.
Just please don't bring him to the Dragons.
But one thing I like about the XFL's coaching right now is there are a lot of first-time head coaches who are African American getting a chance to prove themselves.
Yo, Pep is killing it, dude.
And I love that about the league. Where I had an article about it where I looked it all up.
They got
And
female
I was
ref,
like,
too.
I love the chance we're giving these African American guys the chance to be head coaches in a professional league, and I love that, and GMs too. So
And,
that's a very important
like,
thing they do
I-
have.
I was at the XFL game this past weekend, and like one of the refs there was they had a female ref. I was like, man, look, the XFL just started this year. They have female refs. The NFL like did not allow that, like just didn't have female refs forever.
Yeah. No, every single XFL staff for every single game will have one female referee. As one female referee. So
And she was hot, so
they all a lot. There's like 2 or 3 of them that are actually pretty fucking badass. And they call a really good game, actually. I think the XFL just has to keep doing what they're doing. The only thing that is missing is high level quarterback play. If you would like, I will gladly, for a fee, XFL leash you Jordan Love for scouting.
yeah, money is what's going to change it for them.
Mm-hmm.
The XFL needs to find their guys and keep them in the XFL. Like Cardale should make enough money where he does not have to be a backup in the NFL to make the same contract. Like build around him, make him a guy that you will sponsor, and backup for his caliber could make 1.6 million, maybe 1.5.
Brian just DM'd me. Brian just DM'd me. He said in Rumboyz graphics for those of you guys in the chat. And he was like, I just tipped you guys like my hoes.
You did, man. You
did. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jay.
But yeah, do not let Cardale Jones leave that league. He's a backup in the NFL, I'd say right now. Make him stay in the XFL with enough money and enough sponsorships to never let him leave.
You know who would be great?
Make him the XFL guy.
Allow him to have sponsors.
You know what quarterback would be great for this league? Not named Taysom Hill.
I mean, I do, but I'm probably not gonna say it here. Oh, okay.
In my opinion, looking at a guy who's going to be a 4th round pick, probably isn't even. Depending on the team, he might not even make the roster. He'll be a 4th or 5th round pick that's going to fight for a roster spot, be a backup. He can look to the XFL and be an instant starter, possibly even one of the best players, because we saw what he did at Oklahoma and Alabama. Was a decent player. He can go into this league where guys that are maybe in a way not even on the level of a lot of these top tier colleges like Clemson, Alabama, LSU this year. However, they won't be back. I mean, I just think he'd be a really good fit.
I want to see Trace McSorley just make that jump.
I was thinking
quarterback, super entertaining.
Yes.
I would love to see him play in the XFL. Robbie thinks so too, right?
I'm not going to let that slide. No, I'm not going to let that slide. You only said that because he was compared to Taysom Hill coming out and coming into the NFL. I'm not going to let that slide.
I would never say that. They're totally different body types. McSorley's an undersized quarterback.
A whole bunch of people compared him to Taysom Hill.
That's ridiculous. McSorley is a considerably smaller guy and ran a lot more than Taysom Hill did his senior year because they changed the offense. But I just love his style. I love watching him play football, and I want to watch him again.
Did Taysom Hill become a quarterback?
That's the thing.
Yeah, I think they made a new football position for him, purposely called the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Dude, if Taysom Hill wants to fucking start, he needs to go to the XFL. Straight up.
He needs to go to a local rec league. He wouldn't even start a quarterback in the XFL.
Do not give me ideas. I will start a professional fucking rec. Don't play with me. We already know that Robbie's seeking to own a TBL team.
Hey, Taysom's third string on the Rumboyz football team.
I'm down. I will take that endorsement. Jake, you had a really good take on that last topic there, brother, which actually perfectly segues us into our next topic. Does PJ Walker and Cardale Jones have what it takes to get back in the NFL?
I would start. They do. Don't let them. Make them XFL guys. They can brand XFL guys, pay them enough to keep them there. Why would you want to be a backup when you're doing this in a league?
Yep. No,
you want to play football, pay them the average backup amount in sponsors, commercials, make these guys XFL guys. They want to play football. They won't do it in the NFL. They're not that level. Let them play the game they love. Let them make the money they deserve doing so and be sponsored for the league.
All right. Anybody else want to say anything? Because I think he hit it spot on.
Dude, I think that he literally just did hit it spot on because at first I was going to be like, yeah, they could.
I was Robbie, just like to keep it going a little bit here. If you were able to stay in the XFL and play, or make $100,000 more and be a backup and never play in the NFL, what would you do?
I'm playing.
Yeah, I'd rather play football. Like,
yeah, and also just by playing, like you can make a big enough name for yourself to actually get a starting role in the NFL.
Or maybe you can make money off of endorsements.
Yeah, that too. But I'm saying, like, I would rather make less money to actually get more tape out there to where I might be able to get a starting role than to sit on a bench where no one's watching you.
No one's watching you. On top of that, I have the.
Plus, I want to play.
I'm a businessman. I love building shit. I especially love building brands. I love building brands. Brand association, cross promotion. Those are my things. That's what I love. If I'm Cardinal Jones or I'm PJ, like Jake, you completely changed my whole outlook before even, going. Yeah, I'm saying the fucking XFL where I can probably,
Yeah. Look at this. 10 years from now. Example. Do you want to see them? They're probably will get a media. That's what a lot of athletes do.
Mm-hmm.
In 10 years, they could have an XFL podcast together, if it lasts, and be the XFL guys, or be NFL backups you don't know.
Exactly. It's there's money. It's the market that no one is seeing. I think if the XFL works, you're right, Jake. Be the face of it. Be the guy. Be the guy. The Colts once had PJ Tucker. You let him go. You let him
PJ
go.
Tucker.
And PJ Tucker is nasty. Like, so what I see on film in the XFL, Mike D had made the comment, they only shine amongst other turds. I think that what I've seen of PJ Tucker, that's real football.
Yep.
PJ Walker.
Yeah.
And look at this. This year it's $300K for the quarterback. Next year it's $450K. It's not bad money to play football.
Oh no.
For 10 games. I don't know the playoff schedule yet, but you might get 12 games.
Yeah, I think
$450K is not a bad move.
13 for their championship.
Okay, yeah, so that's not a bad move. Like, one of those things, I just don't see why they want to leave the XFL at this point. Philip Walker, yeah, he changed his name. PJ Walker sounds much cooler.
Yeah, he was Philip Walker when he played for the Colts, and then he changed his name to PJ when he went to rebranding.
Hey, come on, JD. No CTE jokes. We're not about that here. We're not about CTE jokes.
We know enough about Antonio Clown. Next.
Oh my God. I'm gonna bring it up anyway. Did you guys see the live he did yesterday?
That motherfucker got knocked out by a weight bench, bro.
Gosh, I don't want to.
I've never had weights fall on me like that,
dude. I don't even know. So he did a live. I was watching it live when it happened, but Antonio Brown did live, and he was sitting there doing like a weight bench, like a machine, and then he gets up all hyped because he's on his live. And you just see parts of this machine start swinging around like it was not put together correctly. And then one of the big metal arms just smacks him in the top of the head and knocks him on his ass. I was like, oh, shit. And then he reposted it on Instagram with the caption, "That hit harder than birth set."
Yeah.
He spelled her. Bro, I'm glad I don't have Instagram because that would probably drive me nuts. Just to see
oh
how
my
stupid
God.
Okay.
Dude, you have a Twitter, like.
At least it's not as bad as Pico Alonso.
If I were to sign him, it would be No IG Live ever. That's one thing in your contract. Stay off it.
Dude, his IG, I go to his IG lives because I know that it's going to be a headline. Like every time he goes live, it's something crazy. And every comment in there is about 1 million clown emojis.
Dude, all right, can we just all agree that AB, like, he's not an NFL anymore, so we don't have to enjoy that part of his life anymore. But AB makes Instagram a significantly more enjoyable place, because otherwise you're born to scroll and you're looking at bitches like, God damn it. Like, AB makes it a great place. AB makes Instagram hilarious.
J-Love looked like you're about to take off on a track.
Yo, back hurt, bro.
Hey, yo, do this.
You're too young for that, J-Love.
J-Love, do this for the rookie interviews. Me and Ty got back at, like, we're like, God damn, like, how long do we talk with DK? Bullshit. Like, bro, that experience is work. And you just got a bright light in front of you, a bright Hollywood Panavision light. It's just shining in your face. I've never seen a light so big. That shit sucks. Let's go ahead and get into our XFL game picks. We're going to go around the panel, rapid fire type style. Let me pull up the games. We will start off with, oh boy, Justin. Justin, in week 3 of the XFL, let me, Defenders Wildcats, who do you have?
Defenders Wildcats. I got mine written down here. I got the Defenders here. I want the Wildcats. I want to love Los Angeles just as another California, LA-based team that I was born in California, but I'm going Wildcats. I'll keep it short. Or I'm sorry, Defenders. I'll keep it short.
Okay, who you got? Roughnecks, Vipers.
Roughnecks. I have the Roughnecks.
Hell yeah. Guardians, Battlehawks.
They look bad. Guardians. I'm going St. Louis Battlehawks. They've looked really good, actually.
Yeah, it just sucks I never get to see Chad Henneke play because, well, he sucks for Jordan Tamau and surpassed him. And Dallas, Seattle.
Man, I gotta go with my Dragons here. Where you at, BKB?
Yo.
We can finally agree. Yeah, I gotta go with Seattle here. And man, I was at that game last week. That was a blast too. If you guys haven't been to an XFL game, you should go.
I don't have anybody in my area.
I like it. No, I agree. Everyone should definitely go to XFL game. Did you get some videos while you were there? So, like videos, streams, or not streams, but some pics?
No, because I started drinking during before this, about 3 hours beforehand, which continued into the game. They only sell you 2 beers at a time, so I'd have to only buy 2 at a time. And yeah, by the end of the game, I don't remember it.
I am with that. I like it. Let's get into J Love's picks. J Love, Roughnecks, Vipers, go.
I'm gonna go with the Roughnecks.
Renegades, Dragons.
I'm gonna go with the Dallas Renegades.
Guardians, Battlehawks.
Guardians suck. I'm going with the Battlehawks.
Guardians are 1-1. Damn. Defenders, Wildcats.
I'm gonna go with the Defenders.
You better pick that DC team. You know it. Yeah. Jake Miller. Roughnecks, Vikes.
Oh, you changed the order upon me. Roughnecks. Big, because Tampa does not look good right now.
Okay. Renegades, Dragons.
Seattle Dragons.
Okay. Guardians, Battlehawks.
Guardians.
I like it. Defenders, Wildcats.
Well, come on, man. Cardale. You know I'm picking Cardale Jones. I
Exactly.
love that, dude.
So for my picks, we know that I'm going Defenders for sure against the Wildcats. Despite LA being my second home, they're just They're not lighting it up right now. There's no reason why you get rid of one of your best defensive players, send them over to one of the top teams in what's now one of the top teams in the XFL. And Anthony Johnson, I mean, that was just terrible by the Wildcats. So I'm completely all out on the Wildcats, but catch me calling both those games or both the XFL games Sunday. I am also underneath the belief the battle of the teams that are 1-1. The Guardians and the Battlehawks, I'm going to go ahead and pick New York. I'm actually excited. New York, I'm showing you some love. Fuck. Shocker, right? I am going to pick New York. I just think that it's the Battlehawks' time where maybe they may struggle. Just off of what I've seen off their first 2 games. Renegades, Dragons. I just like Pharaoh too much back there running back. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Dragons. And then for the final game, the Roughnecks Vipers, Nick Holly's the boy. I'm trying to get him on the show. It's just really tough with him being in season right now. But I got to go with Mr. I got the groceries, son. The Houston Roughnecks, they're going to pull it off. They're going to do their thing. Plus, I used to live in fucking Texas. Like, you know, other than San Antonio. But yeah, so those are our XFL picks for the week. Make sure you guys place your bets. Let us know what's good. Let us know if you took the over, the under for any of those games. We didn't pick over and under. We just did picks. Let us know what you guys are rocking with. XFL weekend is going to be dope. I'll be calling XFL football Sunday. Saturday will be a TBL day and Fight night, which we're actually about to get into. So Jake Miller, we are going to turn this over here in a way. I mean, I'll be working with you, of course. We have Wilder versus Fury. We know Cesar Gutierrez is going to be fighting. And we have some MMA this weekend as well. Let's first get into Wilder versus Fury. What are your picks and what is your breakdown surrounding this fight, brother?
So I am on record of picking against Tyson Fury. I'm changing that. I saw how he looked. Yeah, no, that dude looks lean. He looks ready. It looks like he's in the 250 range, not that borderline having to cut weight. I really think at this point he knows what Wilder has. He knows the tells, and I think he'll avoid the big shots. So I will pick a good 9 rounds to 3 on the scorecard.
Wow.
Wow. Domination. Decision, but it will be a domination, no doubt. Fury takes it. You agree. I don't know why you're so shocked I changed my opinion.
No, I think he's more shocked by how big of a swing, like, to change it to the 9-3.
The only reason Wilder was even close was because he had 2 10-8 with knockdowns. I don't think he's getting a knockdown. So that would make it a dominant win for Fury if there was no knockdowns. So
yeah, I mean I think that's true, but I think I'm going with Wilder, man. Like Wilder, his technique looks better to me. Like he looks more like he keeps it closer. He doesn't throw as wild of punches to me. And I mean, despite the name
less.
Wilder, yeah,
he's
he
throwing
does.
less
He
now,
does.
which is a round loser. You have to knock somebody out if you're going to fight that way. And
Or
I
knock
don't see him
them
knocking
down.
out Fury.
Or knock them down.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. He has to throw volume to win rounds. I don't think he can just get 3-4 punches and change a fight. I
think that's kind of his style, is landing good punches. You know what I mean? And if you leave yourself open as Fury does, you're more susceptible to those good punches. So I think he will throw more volume than you're used to seeing from him, but they're going to be, stronger punches he's going to have a much higher landing percentage.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Fury's he's gonna throw the punches. Like he's gonna be the one landing the majority of the punches.
He's gonna win the rounds. It's just a matter of will Wilder sleep him,
or knock him down, or get knockdowns.
Yeah, if it's 2 knockdowns, if it's 3 knockdowns, that's the fight. That's 3 10-8s.
Absolutely.
I don't see him getting knocked down 3 times. But again, it's gonna be good. It could be a great fight. I'm not gonna say it's a great fight. Boxing tends to disappoint me when it comes to stuff like this, where I watch 12 rounds.
Absolutely.
It could be a 12-round domination by one fighter, where it's like, great, we paid money and watched this all night for this, but.
Yo, really quick, we all know that Jimmo and AB are boys. They're really
don't know how.
Oh yeah, he is.
Full Savage. There we go.
Oh, so Savage, $5.
Savage. It's my last beer too.
Hold on. Shout to Jimmo though, because Jimmo expressed his feels over on Sportscaster. He was like, "Yo, let my boy live."
No, I'm not hating how he's living. I'm just saying, why'd you repost that? Like with that caption? Come on, bro. Come on.
Shout to Jimmo the icon.
How good would it be if I'm wrong? Think about that. If I change my opinion and Wilder just knocks him out first round, that'd be hilarious. I wouldn't be mad either. It'd just be funny.
I'm gonna go to my fight tape. Just want to finish. Shout out to Jimmo. Sending me the
what up, Jimmo?
He also hooked it up with the Louis Matas. My man's is a G. He's a beast.
And he's got his podcast too.
Damn, you stole the words right.
I'm sorry. I'm just jumping right in.
Yes, the Icon podcast will be coming out at the beginning of April. Look out for it. I heard from a little bird that the Rumboyz are going to be over there.
Tell that bird that I need to be part of that.
Shh. Let's go ahead, get in. Or no, I want to actually drop my Wilder versus Fury tape. Wilder does an amazing job at setting up that right hand, but Fury is so freaking elusive. He has been playing the next gen breakdown of this fight for both fighters, how elusive Fury is, just how much the Bronze Bomber packs a goddamn punch, and that's where things get scary for me as a Wilder fan, and as a Wilder, or I'm sorry, as a Fury fan and as a Fury bettor. I am going into tomorrow with some bones on the line.
What's the odds, by the way? I know Fury's a pretty good favorite.
I have not checked. I did not check the odds. I bet it with friends. I didn't go to the casino. Did you go to the casino?
I don't know for sure, but I know the smart money. Just if you want to make money on the fight, take Wilder in a knockout, because everyone's picking Fury.
Exactly. I'm just worried. About my money in this one. It's going to be a good fight. You can't really predict this either fucking way that it goes, because both fighters are that high level. Both fighters are that elite. They are practitioners of the sport. I'm picking Fury, but I want to make sure that the chat knows tomorrow you are blessed with probably one of the better matchups in the world of boxing that we've seen in, I want to say, 5 years. Since Mayweather Pacquiao, this is going to be the best action that you're going to see. So make sure you guys follow the Rumboyz Combat.
Are you telling me this is going to be better than Mayweather versus McGregor?
Oh, gosh. And Pacquiao, please. I love Mayweather as a fighter, but his fights were not entertaining. Let's just be real.
Absolutely.
You already know I'm rocking my Mayweather McGregor shirt tomorrow for fight night. I will let you guys know if we'll be calling that fight. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on the schedule for tomorrow. Make sure you guys follow us in the Discord chat. I will have our schedule probably in the morning. I'll drop our schedule 8 a.m. Mountain Time in the morning. I want to get into our fighter, our Rumboyz fighter. We know that he's fighting Colton Hill. Jake, I want to ask you, how did you feel after interviewing Cesar? He's been posting on Facebook all day. I've been getting the live feeds from the All-Star Arena in Kansas City. That fight is in Kansas City. Tickets, there's a few tickets still available. It's almost sold out if you're in the Kansas City area. it will be live streaming, or it will be live streaming on the Shamrock FC website as well as Flow Combat, to my knowledge. And if you live in the NBC Sports Midwest area, then you will get it on NBC Sports Midwest. How did you feel following your interview about our fighter?
So I love the fact that he's fighting a guy who is mostly wrestling-based background, and that's what he wants to do. And he is a wrestler. And if he has a striking advantage, I love his chances on that. If you can just defend the takedown and keep him on the feet, he'll have the advantage. That's a huge thing, so you have to pick that fight on his favor. Especially if he can keep it on the feet if he wants to. If he can take him on the ground and be even. But
he stepped into the ring rocking all the sponsors. Of course, he had that Rumboyz look going. He got us on the front. How important is our winning for the company? How big of a look, and what do you interpret that as?
Oh, it's a huge deal, man. I'm looking forward to that more than the Wilder Fury fight, to be honest. It's one of those things. Like, that's gonna be the big moment for me because it's more of a direct thing for us. But yeah, man, I really hope he wins. I think he will. 2 wrestling backgrounds when he wants to be a striker and he can defend the takedown's a big deal for us. And I like our chances.
I do. J-Love?
Huh?
How do you feel about our fighter? It's been a long time coming. He's stepping into the octagon. What do you think following the Rome report yesterday?
Again, I think it's just going to be a big business venture. It's going to spread the name. I mean, it's just going to be a great business opportunity.
Oh yeah, Justin.
Dude, I'm excited to watch it myself. Like, I'm a huge MMA fan. I love boxing as well, but MMA is like a passion of mine. Outside of football, it's probably my second biggest passion. And so, like, I'm super excited about it. And just outside the brand, for him to grow himself and to win, that's going to be huge for him. And I'm happy that we're part of that. And, like, we're going to help him grow even further and just continue to grow together. Like, all of it, I mean, it's just awesome, man. And I love that he has the last name that he does, being in MMA. Like, that's the name of royalty. So
that is that last name, that Gutierrez name carries weight in this world. I love that we're a part of it as well. I want our bonus. Let's get a first round knockout.
Yeah, first round knockout bonus, man.
Yeah. And then Jake, you also had some MMA details outside of Shamrock FC. I believe coming down from the UFC. Let's go ahead and touch on that just ever so slightly before we close out.
Yeah, dude, it is a relatively fun fight. A very fun fight. Won't get much attention, but Felder and Hooker.
I got
you guys
Felder.
Want to stand up? Hooker is actually a former 205-pounder. He's now fights at 155. He cut 50 pounds for a fight, got his life together. And he has a 7-inch reach advantage. And Felder likes to get in close, throw elbows, and make it a dirty boxing match. So it's going to be a fun thing to see how that works out. Edson Barbosa actually lost the decision to Felder, which I didn't agree with personally, but he did win that fight based on the scorecards. And Hooker lost that fight to Edson Barbosa. So MMA math's kind of weird here, where you would think Hooker has the advantage, but Felder's kind of right there where it's like he beat the guy that beat the guy he's fighting. So it's going to be a fun fight. I'm probably not going to watch it live, obviously, but I mean, it's something worth watching. If you guys are able to have 2 streams up, probably watch both those, ESPN Plus and pay-per-view ESPN Plus. So
yeah, we're going to be all over the place tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to get you guys all of our schedules. We don't know what our full plan of attack is tomorrow. We know for a fact that we have two TBL games that we're going to call. At the minimum, at least one. I know for a fact that I want to get us as much involved with the fight activities tomorrow. February 22nd, it's going down. It's going to be fucking crazy. Check out Rumboyz Combat newest article featuring Dominic Reyes. That's already posted, set up as well. Dude, I love the work that's coming out of your department. You're taking the craft serious. You're doing damn fucking good. You did great on your interview yesterday. Once again, guys, just to wrap up our fighting segment of the show. Cesar Gutierrez fighting against Colton Hill at the Ameristar Casino in Kansas City. Tickets are still on sale if you need to go and grab last-minute tickets. And fuck, I couldn't be more proud as a sponsor. Guys, y'all ready to start rapping? Let's wrap up. J-Love, I know that you're ready, bro. You're back, probably. You're like done. We appreciate.
I need a new chair, bro.
Dude, I love that glove. That's the signed one.
It's the Royce Gracie one.
Yeah, as I say, yes, that's the one. Renzo actually opened up a gym here. I might go and roll for a little bit.
It's so much fun. You got to do it.
Those gloves are so weird to me because I see the Bellator ones where they cover the fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't the UFC just do that? It's such a common sense thing where you can avoid the eye pokes all the time. But you don't want to admit Bellator did something better than you did, and you're always going to have those guys poke someone in the eye because you won't cover the freaking fingertips. It's such a bothersome thing. But do you ever watch Bellator?
Absolutely.
I love the gloves. You can't eye poke anybody. You can't open your fist and block like this. You can't paw. You have to do this and actually like punch down. Like the UFC will not admit they're wrong and just say we're doing this the wrong way. Let's just adapt to Bellator's glove style and make our fighters do it. But
we've had a contract with Bellator actually. We're about to get another one here soon. We need to see how tomorrow goes.
I think Gegard Mousasi is fighting very soon too.
Yep, that is true.
2 weeks, I think.
Let's get into it. 2 weeks. It is 2 weeks. Let's get into the wrap up. Let's start with Justin. I know that you have a new episode coming out right after you get off of air here. The Clock Management Camp? Let's talk about that episode.
Oh man, yeah. So we got the episode coming out here right after this. It'll probably be about 30 minutes after this, as long as it takes me to upload everything. And then we're gonna start getting into our outlook for the rookies from last year and recap those, and then our outlook for after that we'll go to the rookies and our expectations from next year, and where kind of start talking about those and where we think they might go, what teams they might go to, and then get into the draft stuff. And I got my 2020 projections coming out in probably the next 2 weeks, and then
including rookies.
I mean, no, not till they get drafted. I'll revamp it at that point, obviously.
Thank you.
But I get so excited that I can't wait for that. So I've already done all of them, and then as people get drafted, I will obviously adjust it. Like I just had to adjust Seattle's with them getting a tight end, a new tight end there. So I just made that adjustment on mine. But yeah, I'm super excited for I'm this 2020 season. I'm so ramped up for it and just amped up. Like I'm ready to go already. Like some people, I hear a lot of these fantasy football podcasters talking. Like I talk to them, they're like, "Man, I'm just burnt out. Like I'm ready for football season to be over." I'm like, "Fuck you! Like get out of here then." Like I want it to be. I'm ready to go year long.
Like I started this for a reason.
Yeah, if you're tired, then I don't like you. If you're tired of football, I don't like you.
We can't collab. We can't. If you're tired of football, we can't collab.
Unless you got a lot of viewers, because I want your viewers to come to me.
Yeah, man. If you think about it, the laziest way to do fantasy football or fantasy sports is football. You adjust your rosters once a week. Baseball is much more strict and much more stressful.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with
3 days, you're changing your whole team.
I agree with you, but I'm not into it because I'm lazy. I'm into it because I love football.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, man. Jordan, love. Get him.
I mean, you know what time it is. It's draft time, so combine starts on Sunday. So I'm getting revved up. After that, me and Robbie gonna start up the series. We gonna let everybody know what's going on, and That's it for me.
So J Love, I want to put this out there, being that the combine starts Sunday. We will work fight night tomorrow. Please fucking sleep tomorrow, because
Yeah,
you're gonna have a long
yeah.
day Sunday.
Mhm.
That's when you're on.
I mean,
You're on
really.
yourself.
Drills don't start till the 27th, I think.
Huh?
It-
26th.
Yeah.
I don't
We're
think
going to
drills
do
start
a
till
relay
then.
race. Me, J Love, and Robbie are going to relay against Jake. And I mean, hopefully it should be a close race.
I have a lot less hair now. I might have some more speed running. You know.
Yeah, the aerodynamics, you know.
Shoot, then I'm losing.
Jake, when we got coming out that combat department, I understand that you have a new apparel line as well.
We do, yes. I'm going to purchase that soon. Probably have it hung up right here, actually. And obviously tomorrow, fight night. After that, probably sleep because it's 2 straight late nights in a row. But I'm going to have a pretty hard-hitting article about how I'm tired of AJ running away from this and just fight the winner of this fight and claim all the titles, unify the heavyweights, because AJ can't run away forever, and it's to the point where if you have all these titles on the line, you beat the lineal champ, or the lineal champ takes all the belts, there's no debate. You have to fight that winner and unify the belts in the heavyweight. And I'm tired of it not doing it because of promotional reasons. So.
Oh, yes, I fucking love it. As for myself, make sure you guys turn on that bell, subscribe to this channel if you have not already. Oh my God,
Wow, Dono. There
Dono.
we go. Let me fill up a little bit here.
Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok at Rumboyz, spell with a Z, N-E-T, the way that you see it underneath me. You already know who it would be, R-O-B-B-I-E, the K-I-N-G of the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. I appreciate my goddamn loyal staff. Y'all are the shit. Y'all are amazing.
Real quick, make sure you follow Rumboyz and Clock Management on IG. Cheers.
Cheers. We out of here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's all my beer, too.